What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 5 Centigrams Chapter 96, The 8 Masters Competition begins. The mysterious man located in Mount Silver. Advertisement after reviewing Xiaozhi's bonding story. Big earthquake happened in Kanto, Elite 4 leads Kanto's elite trainer. Destroy 2 important bases of Team Rocket in one fell swoop. But the time it takes for everyone to get the information is the same. Kanto Elite 4 certainly broke into the Rocket's base with great force. But that base is actually no different from an empty shell. Some of the remaining personnel are just cannon fodder for Team Rocket. All research materials have also been destroyed. Alliance only obtained some scraps of information. Team Rocket evacuated faster than Alliance imagined. And their leader, the master of Viridian Gym, Giovanni of the Earth. It had disappeared without a trace long before the Indigo Plateau Conference started. Originally, Lance thought Giovanni was on vacation. Now it seems, he must be planning some major conspiracy. It's a pity that even if Team Rocket's important base was destroyed this time, he couldn't force Giovanni out either. As for the whereabouts of the Rockets trio, someone said they saw them at the Indigo Plateau Conference. It's a pity that they can no longer be found in the future. I don't know if he was recalled by the Rockets. You were saying that after the problem comes out, you can neither send barges nor use any communication methods? Team Rocket headquarters, the short-haired Giovanni looked at the 2 people and the cat in front of him with a serious expression. His hand gently caressed Persian at his feet, the body exudes terrible pressure. Meowth said with fear. Yes, boss. We wanted to contact you right away, boss. But the communication equipment suddenly stopped working. Even using a public phone, we couldn't make a call. Hearing this, Giovanni fell into deep thought. I thought these idiots wouldn't think of him. Unexpectedly, they turned out to be more loyal than imagined. As soon as I found out that there was a question about my answer, I contacted him directly. As for whether Meowth can lie, do you really think that his eyes that read countless people are fake? If you can't even tell the lies, he no longer has to be the leader of Team Rocket. After a long time, a magnetic voice sounded. The next task for you 3 is to keep an eye on that kid from Pallet Town. Follow your own plan. If anything happens, the organization will support you, do you understand? The 2 of them were stunned when they heard the words, and then an excited O3 expression appeared on their faces. There was also uncontrollable joy in the voice. Got it, boss. After a few people left, Giovanni gently knocked on the noble throne he was sitting on. Thoughtful in mind. Those 3 people followed the kid to the Sinnoh region, but they were fine. It means that they should have their own unique tracking method. As long as the location of the 3 of them is determined, the location of the kid can be determined. Then, as long as Alliance dares to relax, that kid will die. Giovanni is not an indecisive person, he is the hero who single-handedly established the Rockets. Faced with Xiaozhi, a person who may threaten or even destroy Team Rocket in the future. How could he, Giovanni, just sit back and watch? As long as there is a chance, he will carry out a devastating blow to Xiaozhi who has not grown up yet. But there is definitely no chance now, not to mention that the Rockets have just been seriously injured. Let's just say that the Indigo Plateau Conference is now opening and the 8 Masters competition is about to begin. The world's top trainers are all gathered together. If you want to take action against Xiaozhi, now is obviously not a good time. That's okay. He can wait. At this time, Xiaozhi had no idea that he was being targeted by Team Rocket. Even if you know, it doesn't really matter, just as Giovanni thought, Xiaozhi is now surrounded by at least 1 championship-level trainer guarding him. In less than 1 night, Kanto Elite 4 completely destroyed Team Rocket's base. Early the next morning, Lance got on the plane with Cynthia, who stayed to protect Xiaozhi. Head to Galar to begin the lottery ceremony. Now the people protecting Xiaozhi are Lorelei and Bruno. There's even Agatha's Gengar hiding in the shadows for protection. With this lineup, even if Emperor Dan comes, you have to consider whether you can move Xiaozhi. In the afternoon, Xiaozhi also started his 3rd round of the Indigo Plateau Conference. The venue for the 3rd game is the ice venue. Xiaozhi chose to let Squirtle, Kingler and Froka play. Rival is a boy named George, although it is a bit surprising that Rival's most popular Arcanine, who uses a fire element, comes out to fight. But Xiaozhi still won the game without any danger. Froakies' performance in it is also quite outstanding. But it's still a bit far behind Squirtle, the big brother of the water type in the team. Still need to learn. Advertisement. Since there was no inventory today, Xiaozhi and others had the rare opportunity of walking around the Indigo Plateau Conference venue twice after the competition. In fact, there are people secretly protecting Xiaozhi, including Lorelei and Bruno. However, under this heavy siege, the Rockets trio used disguises and other means too. Approached Xiaozhi and others, and captured Pikachu and took him away. Lorelei and others on the side had no intention of taking action. Instead, he looked at the scene in front of him with some amusement. I've seen it a lot in the inventory, but I haven't seen it a few times in the real world. See. The scene where Team Rocket was beaten away by Xiaozhi. Facing the Rockets who captured Pikachu, Xiaozhi directly released Charizard to forcefully take Pikachu back. And one shot of flamethrower sent them into the sky to become stars. The Pokémon in Xiaozhi's hands now are completely different. Especially the strength of Charizard. As for Pikachu, when touching a member of Team Rocket, the movie star gene in Pikachu's body will be stimulated, he will become unable to resist the contest condition. Ahem, just kidding. In short, Team Rocket can use a series of methods against Pikachu every time. But Xiaozhi's other Pokémon are forgotten every time. So, even though Pikachu is stronger than Charizard today, but when it came to the Rocket's rival segment, it seemed a little weak. It can only be said that Team Rocket's talent in dealing with Pikachu's noble phantasm is fully utilized. After defeating the Rockets, Alliance once again strengthened the defense around Xiaozhi. This time it was rookies like the Rockets trio who got in. What about next time? Therefore, this incident has reminded Alliance even more that it must not take it lightly. After taking care of Team Rocket, Xiaozhi took Misty and others to the forest of Trico. There, he met Trico, whom he would conquer in the future. Although we have been talking to each other for a long time in our hearts, this is the first time we meet. When we first met Trico, he was as arrogant as normal in the inventory. But his arrogance will turn into softness when he sees Xiaozhi. It can be seen that the impact of the inventory is still very big on him. Under Xiaoging's coaching, Xiaozhi left behind a batch of nutritional products, energy cubes, training props and other items. Let Trico have a good workout even if he is alone here. In addition, because the 1,000-year-old trees have revived, many Trico have also moved back to live here. After all, this is the home where they were born and raised. The next day, Xiaozhi played the last game, the grass field game. Rival is a big sister named Chunji. After that, Gaisei gang saw that Xiaozhi's rival was a beautiful big sister. Actually cheering for her, got a good lesson from Misty. The Pokémon used by Xiaozhi are Bulbasaur, Pikachu, and Charizard. Chunji's use of softness to overcome strength, Bellsprout, caused a lot of trouble for Xiaozhi. Even the powerful Pikachu is a little helpless. The electric moves were directed underground. Physical move will be used by the opponent. It can be said that this Bellsprout is a very powerful Pokémon. But after Xiaozhi replaced Charizard, everything was different. Charizard's fire skills can be described as a dimension-reducing blow to Bellsprout. No matter how hard it tries, there is no strategy for Flamethrower to restrain it. Bellsprout is still quite buggy, but I think it can basically be killed on Charizard. After all, no matter how buggy Bellsprout is, it only targets some Pokémon. In the original book, it was defeated by Muck. After defeating Chunji, Xiaozhi finally successfully advanced to the top 16 of the Indigo Plateau Conference. On the other side, Gary faced his last rival at the Rock Ground. At this time, he only had the last Pokémon left. Originally he wanted to use Nidoking to fight. But suddenly, he felt a chill all over his body. The last Pokémon sent by the opponent was Golem. If you use Nidoking, it has attribute restraint, but no, you can't use Nidoking. Just so. Macho Brace in the Blastoise Assist Tiandao inventory item has improved a lot of strength, so I'll use him this time. Somehow, Gary replaced the Nidoking he was going to put on last with his own trump card, Blastoise. Under the powerful water pressure of Blastoise, the Golem who was restrained 4 times was not its rival at all. Even if you try your best to find an opportunity to come over and fight Blastoise in close combat. Unexpectedly, Blastoise's melee combat ability is stronger than Golem's. A Megaton Punch knocked the Golem back, and the Hydro Pump took it away. Successfully advanced to the top 16 of the Indigo Plateau Conference. In the Indigo Plateau Conference, there are basically baby teams, and there are basically no final evolved Pokémon like Golem, so the rival that Gary encountered this time is really powerful, but Maui doesn't know where Blastoise is, so let's just pretend that he doesn't exist here. Come out. After the 4th round of competition, the contestants have 2 days of rest. 1 day is for pure rest, 1 day is for drawing lots, and then the 5th round will begin the next day. During a day off, Xiaozhi happened to meet a trainer named Richie. The other party is also carrying a Pikachu, Xiaozhi, who silently wrote down his top 16 rival. After pondering the opponent's face for a moment, he quickly remembered that this was his rival who was in the top 16. Although the other party is rival, this does not prevent Xiaozhi from becoming friends with him. Because Richie is very similar to Xiaozhi in many ways. After the two got acquainted, they trained together for a day. Advertisement. The day passed quickly, and then it was finally our turn. The 8 Masters World Championship began. Xiaozhi returned to Professor Oak Laboratory, watched these 4 games with all of Professor Oak's Pokémon in his backyard. After all, these 4 games represent the 8 strongest players in Alliance. Trainer. First of all, the king starts the game. Dandy vs Kibana. Dandy won Kibana with a 1/3 advantage. The supergiant Charizard directly performed a series of 2, showing his invincible majesty. In the second game, Steven vs Alder. Alder is actually the weakest among the champions. And Steven is the best among champions, although Alder's Volcarona showed great strength. But it's still no match for Steven's Flash Metagross. Steven finally won this game with a score of 2/3. Then it's Wallace vs Diantha. At present, Diantha has a super trump card like Mega Evolution. But I didn't use it when facing Wallace. Wallace's strength is not enough to push Diantha to a dead end. In the end, Diantha also defeated Wallace with a score of 2/3. Then came the final game of the 8 Masters, Sinnoh champion Cynthia versus Johto region champion Yulongdu. Although Lance became a barrage comedian during the inventory, but its strength is one of the best even among champions. In this battle, Lance went directly to Opalucid and Charizard. Opalucid, 2 dragons. Cynthia also fought hard with energy, and finally won the final victory with Garchomp's Dragon God dive. Cynthia defeated Lance 2/3. At this point, the top 4 of the 8 Masters have been decided. In the top 4 the next day, Dandy will fight against Steven, and Diantha will fight against Cynthia. The world's mightiest decision will appear in these 2 days. After the exciting 8 Masters competition, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the new inventory of 510 is coming. Many people said it was so enjoyable. Not only did I see the 8 Masters game today, and there is also a super large-scale plot review that you can watch in the evening. Finally made up for the boring regrets of the previous 2 days. Cynthia and others did not come to Kanto this time, mainly because the top 4 competition of the 8 Masters was about to start the next day. Running back and forth like this is a waste of time, after the 8 Masters competition is over. Many champions have made appointments to come and watch Xiaozhi's Indigo Plateau Conference trip. And Xiaozhi and others, because they don't need to compete today or tomorrow. So they went back to Pallet Town Professor Oak's laboratory to watch the game. The audience accompanying me this time are Delia's mother, Professor Oak, Misty, Xiaobing and Gary. After all, this is Gary's home. If he has space and time, he will naturally come back here to take a rest. He didn't expect that he would bump into Xiaozhi to watch the game. Of course, Gary is accompanied by his 6 girlfriends. This makes Xiaobing extremely envious. Xiaozhi curled his lips and indulged in female S**X, and he would only be left far behind. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, all the big screens around the world appeared on time and lit up. Professor Oak moved some stools into the backyard. Watch from the backyard with Xiaozhi, Gary and others and their Pokemon. The 10th game review is about to begin. This is a super large-scale plot review. Due to time factors, there is only one game review this time, close black lens bracket. There is no guessing mode in this inventory, only a question answering mode, and those who are on the list and are known as legends can get corresponding rewards, close black lens bracket. After these words appeared on the screen, many people were a little disappointed that there was no guessing this time. Many gambling dogs are still waiting for a comeback. Now I can only rely on the answer mode to see if I can get some props. As for being on the list, 99% of the people in the world are self-aware. Can't go up. At the same time, a ray of light fell on the snowy Mount Silver in the Johto region. A young man wearing a red and white hat and a red and black jacket with short sleeves appeared on the top of Mount Silver. Even in this windy and snowy environment, he did not tremble at all. Instead, he observed the surrounding environment calmly. This is Mount Silver. Just now, he was training with his Pokemon on Mount Silver. Unexpectedly, a beam of light came directly and took it away. Not even that guy in him can stop this power. You must know that that guy is the top mythical beast in the Pokemon world. There is no way to stop this force. After the light passed, the boy found that he was still on Mount Silver. It's just that this Mount Silver is slightly different from before. Suddenly, a screen appeared in front of him. A large amount of information was also poured into his mind. Parallel world. Regarding the description of the 8 Masters competition, I will not go into details here. I will describe a wonderful game later when Xiaozhi participates in the 8 Masters review. Chapter 97. Super large inventory, legendary road, fighting man, red. Advertisement. The young man murmured to himself, looking at the screen in front of him. According to the information I just got in my mind, the world today is no longer the world he lives in, but another parallel world. Here, there is also Mount Silver. There are also Elite Four, but the people here are different from his world. He doesn't know exactly what the difference is. He will have to wait until he explores the world to find out. As for how to go back to the original world, can I go back after just one battle with the me who grew up in this world? Interesting. The boy was originally a person who loved adventure, but later he felt that there was no one in the world with whom he could fight. So he entered Mount Silver to practice in seclusion. And in this new world, maybe we can find someone who can defeat him. But then again, what is this screen? The information in his mind does not have this screen. Also, confirm your Pokemon first. Mewtwo, are you there? Here, Kai. Where is this place? The interesting part, where are my friends? Only the 6 on my body are there, the rest, I can't sense them. It doesn't matter, because it's enough. After the telepathic communication between the boy Qihong and Mewtwo, pictures began to appear on the screen in front of him. A young man wearing a red and white hat and a red and black jacket with short sleeves appeared on the screen. Qihong looked stunned. This is himself? At the beginning of the video, a boy named Qihong appeared in a hut. Under her mother's nagging, Chi-Hong packed up her equipment. Get ready to go to Professor Oak's laboratory in town to pick up your first Pokemon. At this moment, a line of subtitles appeared on the screen. Inventory, Fighting Man, the Red Legendary Road. The one who fights, Red. This is the protagonist of this inventory, and it is also the name of the boy who appeared on the screen at the beginning. However, audiences around the world always find it a little strange. Why do I feel that the red color on the picture has a similar feeling to me? Just like Xiaozhi feels normal in the image. On the way to Professor Oak's laboratory, Red met his fierce rival, Green. The two entered Professor Oak's laboratory amidst the commotion. After a while of pleasantries, the two of them each chose their own Earl Dervish Pokemon. Red chose Charmander, and Green decided after deciding which Pokemon Red chose. I chose an attribute on my backhand to counter Charmander's Squirtle. Then the two began their trip. Although this video only played to the beginning has already caused an uproar in the world. You Longdu. Professor Oak, this person called Fangyuan. Isn't he your grandson Gary? And he also calls you Grandpa in the video. When will your grandson change his name? Open black lens bracket Gary. I didn't change my name, and I don't know any Chi-Hong either. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. The green in the picture does look exactly like my grandson, but I have no impression of the boy named Red. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Among the rookie trainers who traveled with Gary, there was no trainer named Crimson. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Xiaozhi. I think that Chi-Hong looks a bit like me. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. Is it a parallel world? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Steven. What is a parallel world? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Professor Kukui. I have researched this, just like studying the world on the other side of Ultra Wormhole. Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui. After all, Ultra Wormhole is actually a Pokemon world, but it is completely different from the Pokemon world here. Cynthia. Professor Kukui is right. The concept of parallel worlds is actually the same. For example, in another world, I may not be the Sinnoh champion, but a Pokemon archaeologist. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. In this case, a completely different world line will be extended. This is the existence of parallel worlds. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. In the parallel world, there are some people who look exactly like us, and even hold the same position, but the way they act is completely different. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. The world in the image should be what happens in another world. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. It's just, in that world, there are people like Gary and Professor Oak, but they just look the same, and their behaviors may be completely different. Close black lens bracket. After Cynthia's explanation, everyone finally understood. In general, what happened in the video has nothing to do with their current world. It's what happened in another world. No wonder they have never heard of the legendary trainer Red. It turns out that this person does not exist in this world at all. Open black lens bracket Crimson. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Yulongdu. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Steven. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Kukui. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. Close black lens bracket, Wallace. Cynthia, didn't you say that was a parallel world? What the hell is this person named Kai Hong? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia, who was relaxing in a hotel near the Palace Gate Stadium, also didn't expect that. She just said that Chi-Hong is a character from a parallel world. Advertisement. The red back foot immediately bubbled up in the barrage list. Could this barrage list be able to connect to other worlds? Or, her guess is wrong. Chi-Hong. I am indeed a character from another world, but this existence called Tiandao Inventory sent me to your world. If there is a chance, we can discuss E. After training at Mount Silver, Chi-Hong basically only said. He was a little uncomfortable saying so many words in one breath now. It's a bit. I haven't talked to anyone in a long time. Professor Oak. Tiandao Inventory actually has this kind of power. Pulling people from parallel worlds. How terrifying. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. Are you Red? I will go find you after the 8th Masters tournament is over. Kai Hong. Don't worry, I think. You and I haven't reached the time to fight yet, so wait. Wait for someone. Kai Hong politely rejected Dan Emperor's challenge. But what he said is right. Now, it is indeed not the time yet. Emperor Dan was not disappointed when he saw this. After all, he still didn't know what kind of trainer Chi-Hong was. But being called a legend definitely doesn't make it any weaker, right? In the image, after Red and Green embarked on their journey. The angle of view has always been on Chi-Hong. The Red at the beginning is a bit stronger than Xiaozhi. At least you know you have to fight to conquer Pokemon. But Chi-Hong still did something that made people laugh and laugh. That's throwing Pokeballs at other people's Pokemon. As a result, the boy in shorts gave me a good scolding. When you first came out, was this, young and ignorant? Thinking of what happened back then, Chi-Hong still felt a little nostalgic. But, if it were played in public, it would be a piece of black history. If he remembered correctly, the following should be. In the image, after several days of travel, Red met Green again. Amid Qinglu's taunts, Red launched a battle against Qinglu. Charmander vs Green Squirtle. During the battle, Qihong was constantly eager for success and attacking crazily, completely ignoring Charmander's condition, even when Charmander stumbled after being counterattacked. Still launching attacks, as a matter of course, he was easily defeated by Qinglu. For a moment, everyone in the world was confused. Isn't this the Red legendary road? Why did it falter at the beginning? Look at this way of using Pokemon to fight, you are even more novice than a novice. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Ha ha ha. I am so powerful even in another world. Have you seen Xiaozhi? My strength? What a stinker. This is not you at all. Why not? I also chose Squirtle, and Green also chose Squirtle. We all look the same. Do you understand the value of suppressing the legendary Red in another world? Xiaozhi was speechless for a moment, then turned around and continued watching the video. Now he really has no way to refute Gary. The green on the screen is really amazing. It's much more powerful than when he set off. On the other hand, Qihong, although she is stronger than him, her strength is very limited. Attribute is restrained and I don't know anything about basic tactics. If it were Gary, Green's representative in this world. I'm afraid the person named Qihong represents him in this world. Stand up. Me in another world. Don't let this stinky Mao continue to be a stinker. After Qihong experienced a disastrous defeat, she came to the river alone and was in a daze. At this moment, a young man with squinting eyes came to Kai Hong. And tell him why he lost to Qinglu. Xiaoging, that's you. Xiaozhi pointed at the new person in the screen excitedly and said. Xiaoging nodded and seemed very excited. He seems to be as reliable in the other world as he is now. In the image, under the guidance of Xiaoging from another world, Qihong began to think about what Pokemon battle is. And according to Xiaoging's guidance, he came to the first gym, Nibby Gym. In the Nibby Gym, Qihong met Xiaoging again. It turns out that Xiaoging is the owner of Nibby Gym. After confirming that Red is the rookie trainer without badge, Xiaoging picked out 2 lower-level Pokemon to fight with them. Just when everyone thought the rules of battle were 2 versus 2. Red actually took out the 4th and 5th Pokemon in succession. Even 6. When all 6 Pokemon were out, sending Red was enough to barely defeat Guan Xiaoging. It was also in this battle that he understood the meaning of fighting. I also understand. Pokemon is not an attack in battle, but a partner, it is a companion, it is a relative. Denji. Is the gym battle different in the parallel world? Can it also be 6 versus 2? Close black lens bracket. Blaine. I barely managed to win 6 against 2, and it was a battle that was too late. Isn't this too lacking in the Gold Emperor? Close black lens bracket. Advertisement, Majishi. Badge is like a free gift. Even if it's rookie trainer, 6 versus 2, and even a weaker Pokemon is specially selected to fight him, he can win with his feet. Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. This legendary person was too weak at the beginning. How long will it take for him to become a legend? 10 years? 20 years? Close black lens bracket. Dandy. To be honest, I didn't see anything special about Qihong before, but after this battle, I can feel that there seems to be something special about Qihong. That is the same thing as Xiaozhi. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Alder. That's right, now Qihong has truly begun to love Pokemon. Before, he probably only regarded Pokemon as a pet. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. Well, this is a young man. Close black lens bracket. Were you too weak at the beginning? No matter how weak you are, I will conquer you. It was so heartbreaking that Mewtwo shut himself down. Image continues. Under Xiaoging's prompting, Kai Hongfan suddenly came to his senses. Subsequently, he grew up as if he had a plug-in and almost never lost a battle on the road. First, he defeated Misty from the Cerulean Gym by reverse attribute. Then he defeated Majishi, the leader of the Vermilion Gym, with overwhelming force. The red Charmander also evolved into Charmeleon. It can be said that except for the first gym leader Xiaoging, who was seriously in trouble, the 2 subsequent museum owners have already shown some strength. However, Qihong still defeated them with overwhelming strength. This shows how fast he has grown. Moreover, every gym owner who fought against him did not care about it from the beginning. You will become excited by the end. It's like Red has some magical power. Normal. After sufficient growth, Red came to Lavender Town. There is a legend of ghosts circulating in this town. I know, it's Gengar and the others here. There's no ghost at all. Xiaozhi also went to Lavender Town in order to challenge the Saffron Gym. There's no ghost there, it's just ghastly Gengar and the others playing pranks there. You can't say anything too absolute, it's a parallel world there, Xiaozhi. Professor Oak sighed and continued reading. In the image. After arriving at Lavender Town, Red was about to go up to the Pokemon Tower to take a look. As a result, I was told that if I wanted to go to the Pokemon Tower, I would go to the Pokemon House. A confused Qihong came here, and what greeted him was a Stephanie named Reina. Pokemon Home is a place created specifically to take in abandoned Pokemon. Grandpa Fuji is the founder here. Abandoned. Yes. There are many humans in the world who have never regarded Pokemon as family members or partners, but only as props or accessories that can be used in battle. When these props and accessories cannot keep up with the progress, or become weak, those people will abandon the Pokemon directly. Grandpa Fuji founded this Pokemon home just to take care of those abandoned Pokemon. Kai Hong was stunned when he heard this. Then I felt mixed emotions. If it weren't for Xiaogang, I'm afraid he would also be one of the people who uses Pokemon as a tool. It's a very simple thing to treat Pokemon as your friends and family. But he almost didn't notice it back then. Well, can you take me to visit? Under the leadership of Reina, Shihong walked into the Pokemon House. There are many abandoned Pokemon here. These are all very weak Pokemon. But most Pokemon seem to be very cheerful. This shows that Mr. Fuji takes good care of them. However, there is one Pokemon that is an exception. In the corner of Pokemon House, a Coricola hugged the bones tightly with both hands and looked at Shihong and others who came to him with a wary expression. What's wrong with this Pokemon? This Coricola is a little different. He is not a Pokemon abandoned by humans, but a Pokemon that Grandpa Fuji saved from Team Rocket. As Rina spoke, Shihong also gradually understood what happened. The skull of Cola is a very valuable item in the outside world and has collection value. So this Coricola was targeted. In order to protect Coricola, his mother stepped in and stopped the rockets. Only then did Mr. Fuji have the chance to rescue him. It's a pity that Coricola's mother Gala died in the hands of Team Rocket. From then on, Cola also left a shadow. Except for Mr. Fuji who rescued him, he no longer trusts or gets close to anyone. Hearing this, Shihong fell silent, his hands tightly grasping the guardrail. There seemed to be something tugging at his heart. Damn Team Rocket. Not only Shihong, but also the audience could not help but clench their fists after hearing this story. If you are not from Kanto region, I have only heard of the name Rockets. Coupled with the joy of the Rockets trio, many people actually don't hate the Rockets that much. However, judging from this inventory, I don't know how the Rockets are in this world. But the Rockets in the Red world really do all kinds of evil. For money, they will do anything. Chapter 98. Red also has Pikachu. Still round. Advertisement. After learning that the Rockets did such an outrageous thing to Coricola. The red color looks very rage. But he didn't know where the Rockets were. So even if I want to help Coricola retaliate, I don't know what to do. I can only put this matter aside for now. After visiting the Pokemon House, Shihong was talking to Reina outside. In her words, Kai Hong mentioned that she wanted to enter the Pokemon Tower. By the way, I want to see who the legendary Mr. Fuji is. Unexpectedly, Renee said with a troubled expression. Grandpa Fuji's words. He doesn't know where he has been recently. Boom. Suddenly, the door to the Pokemon House was opened. A middle-aged man rushed in and said, Everyone, the whereabouts of Mr. Fuji have been found. Where? Someone saw Mr. Fuji going inside the Pokemon Tower last night. Pokemon Tower. Why? It's because of Team Rocket. Shihong looked stunned and asked quickly. What happened to Team Rocket? Are they here? One of the women stood up and explained to Kai Hong. Yes, Team Rocket suddenly came to Lavender Town some time ago and occupied the Pokemon Tower. Many people who wanted to enter the Pokemon Tower to worship were unable to do so. They were all kicked out. Mr. Fuji must have gone to negotiate with the Rockets, but that group of people is not someone we can negotiate with at all. Shouted another person volunteering at the Pokemon House. It can be seen that he has some understanding of the Rockets. There was an uncontrollable tremor in his voice. The name of Team Rocket is so terrifying. Everyone, let's go and bring Grandpa Fuji out together. Faced with Reina's rebellious behavior, everyone couldn't help but turn their heads to the side after being stunned. They dare not go. The name Team Rocket is feared throughout Kanto. How dare they, who are not even trainers, go to trouble Team Rocket? Everyone, Grandpa Fuji, he went to the Pokemon Tower to negotiate with Team Rocket for everyone's sake. So what if we go? Team Rocket is simply not something that we people can handle. Yes, we just went to deliver food. After one person spoke up, the remaining people also spoke sternly. Yulongdu, you really have no courage at all. Humph. Close black lens bracket. Steven. It's a bit cowardly. Close black lens bracket. Alder. Fuji, an old man, went to negotiate with the Rockets for their sake, but these young and middle-aged people are still so submissive. No wonder the bug can stay. Close black lens bracket. Alder is usually a very gentle person. But when he saw the dangers of human nature, he couldn't help but rebuke. Cynthia. It's just human nature. You can't say these people don't have good intentions, otherwise they wouldn't come back to Mr. Fuji's place to work as volunteers. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Diantha. She has a kind heart, but not much, right? Close black lens bracket. Day. That makes sense. Close black lens bracket. Image 1. Under everyone's rejection, Reina's expression became even more ugly. However, before he could explode, a young and firm voice came. Leave it to me. I'll bring Mr. Fuji back. Everyone heard the sound and left. I found out that it was said by a boy who looked to be in his teens. One of the middle-aged men shouted. We adults can't do anything against Team Rocket, so what use are you, a kid? Shihong directly opened the inside of his red and black jacket, and on it, 3 badges of different colors were pinned on it. I'm not bragging, but I'm pretty strong in Pokemon battles. So, leave it to me. There are 3 badges. 3 badges. This guy is no ordinary person. Have you gotten 3 badges at this age? Everyone was praising Shihong for getting 3 badges. It seems that in their world, getting 3 badges is a very big deal. Tisk tisk, Shihong is just different from someone else. Shihong took out the badge to prove to everyone that he has the ability to take responsibility. On the other hand, someone took out the badge just to show off. Misty said teasingly. Xiaozhi blushed instantly and wanted to refute. But, he seems to only show off the badge when showing off. The problem is that he hasn't encountered anything that requires his strength to solve. Huh, I'm here. It seems that this time the operation to annihilate Team Rocket doesn't require Shihong to appear. Gary originally wanted to mock Xiaozhi a few words. Suddenly, Green appeared on the screen. He seemed to have heard the news about Team Rocket at the door of Pokemon Home. This made Gary excited. Green is definitely stronger than Red. As long as Green takes action. There is no such thing as redness. In the image. After Qinglu eavesdropped on the whole thing at the door. Then he quietly closed the door and raised the corner of his mouth slightly. As long as I drive away Team Rocket before Red, I will be the hero of this town. Tisk, tisk, it feels good just thinking about it. That's it. Qinglu murmured to himself, and then quickly walked towards the Pokemon Tower. Advertisement. Yulongdu. Are you so utilitarian at such a young age? Close black lens bracket. Bruno. I think this is a normal teenager, right? Who doesn't want to be in the limelight when they are young? Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. Bruno is right, although the purpose is somewhat utilitarian, but the result is good. Close black lens bracket. Even if it was a utilitarian purpose, no matter what, Qinglu at least went to eradicate Team Rocket. Better than those who do nothing. After Qihong confirmed the information about Team Rocket with everyone. Heading to the Pokemon Tower alone with a flashlight. On the lower floor of the Pokemon Tower, Red met a strange woman. She said that she wanted to see her Nidoran mail sign no matter what, and that there might be a ghost on it. Kai Hong secretly remembered it in her heart, and then climbed to the upper floor. However, what Qihong didn't notice was, the woman just now had no shadow. When the flashlight shines on it, there is no shadow on the ground at all. No. Isn't it? Are there any ghosts in the world? Hi, I feel like I'm watching a horror movie. Guigi, I need to find a few more brothers to watch together. It's scary to watch alone. Qihong didn't notice it, but of course they, the audience from God's perspective, noticed it. The ghost-like woman shocked people all over the world. Many timid people want to close their eyes and skip this section. The screen turned, Green appeared in the image. At this time, Qinglu also carefully walked towards the upper floor with a flashlight. He was still muttering in his mouth. Who said there is a ghost here? What a bunch of fools. If there were ghosts, would Team Rocket still occupy this place? It must be a trick of the rockets to build momentum. Only the wise and powerful man can think of this. Qinglu's words sounded like ridicule and confidence. In fact, it also means to cheer myself up. When Qinglu walked up a floor, a purple shadow suddenly appeared in front of him. Qinglu's expression froze, and the corners of his mouth twitched slightly. No way. Get out of here. Get out of here quickly. The purple will-o-wisp-like shadow ghost came to the green in front of normal. Green is just like his name, his face turned green with fear. Throw the flashlight away and run away. Still shouting. Ah 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 ah. Ha 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 ha. Gary. Ha 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 ha. Is this your incarnation in another world? It's so funny ha ha ha. Xiaozhi laughed so hard that he was out of breath, and Gary's face looked extremely ugly. But he couldn't blame himself in the other world, because even he was actually quite afraid of things like ghost. Ah, Misty reacted belatedly, hugged Xiaozhi's arm, and screamed. As a Stephanie, she is even more afraid of this kind of thing. Little Misty, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? Xiaozhi looked confused. What's going on? He was still laughing at Gary just now. Why is he suddenly being hugged now? In Xiaozhi's words, Misty smelling salts came over. Ghost didn't appear in front of her, there was just ghost in the image. Rub. Misty's face instantly turned red. What did she do just now? What a shame. Don't get me wrong. I just grabbed something randomly because I was a little scared. It doesn't matter if there are cats and dogs around me. I don't mean to hug you specifically. Misty's explanations became more and more confusing. At this point, any normal person might know the secret hidden in Misty's heart. But Xiaozhi is not normal. I didn't expect you, Misty, to be afraid of this kind of thing. How shameless. Ha ha ha. Xiaoging. Misty, I'm shocked. What kind of brain circuit do you have? A beautiful girl is afraid of hugging you, is this what you think? Boom. A medium-sized bag appeared on Xiaozhi's head. Misty blew out the smoking fist in her hand, saying that Mega was really nothing more than Rookie's iron head. Image continues. Xinglu rushed out with a fearful roar. I just happened to bump into Qihong, who was about to go upstairs. Qihong was knocked all over, and then she rubbed her head and saw the person in front of her clearly. Xinglu. Why are you here? Red. Don't worry about it. Let's go. There's Ghost. Ghost. When Red's head is full of question marks, purple will-o-wisp follows green. Get out of here quickly. Qihong was also startled and dropped the flashlight in her hand to the ground. Really? Is there really a ghost? Yes. Let's go, Qihong. It's still too late to escape now. After Qihong panicked for a moment, the expression on her face turned firm again. If you want to leave, go ahead, Xinglu. I promised Reina that I would bring Mr. Fuji back. It's up to you, Pikachu. 0. Please give me flowers. Pickup. Advertisement. To the surprise of the audience, Kai Hong released a Pikachu. Hi, Pikachu. Does Qihong take Pikachu with her like brother Xiaozhi? To be honest, I think besides. Except for brother Xiaozhi's Pikachu, the other Pikachu are just wild dogs on the roadside. But the red Pikachu looks a little different. Isn't his face too round? In other words, it's kind of like Pikachu with a Pichu head. Yi, don't say such horrible things, please. 1-1. A group of people didn't take Qihong's behavior of releasing Pikachu seriously. Red and green are different from Gary, two people who look almost the same. Except for the similarity in clothes and expressions between him and Xiaozhi. There is almost no similarity in appearance. So no one thinks that Qihong is Xiaozhi's counterpart in another world. No one thought that this Pikachu could cause any big waves. Pikachu, Thunderbolt. The golden spark flashes across. The electric light is as thick as a bucket. Normal. Everyone was shocked. This Pikachu doesn't seem to be a fuel-efficient lamp. This Thunderbolt was not released by Pikachu at all, was it? However, this powerful electric light passed directly through the purple will-o-wisp-like ghost. Qihong refused to give up and continued to use skills to attack. Quick attack, Thunder Shock, Thunder Wave, but none of the attacks can hit. At this moment, the audience discovered that Xinglu was missing. Could it be said that Xinglu escaped? This. Red. Go on. A loud voice sounded at the top of the stairs. I saw Xinglu appearing at the entrance of the stairs at some unknown time. Oh. He also held something that looked like glasses in his hand. After Qihong turned around and looked over, Xinglu threw the thing directly to Qihong. This is. Bring it here and you will know. Because of my trust in my childhood sweetheart and my fierce rival. Without thinking, Qihong brought up something that looked like glasses and a helmet. Then, Ghost, who was originally a purple mist in his eyes, actually began to solidify. It ended up being a purple Pokemon with a skull. Marowak. Qihong was a little unbelievable after seeing Ghost's true form. How could this ghost be Marowak? Could it be that? Get out of here. They're here. Cora. After Marowak shouted something as usual, Cora suddenly ran out from behind Red. It turns out that after Red left, Cora felt her mother's breath in the Pokemon Tower. So I ran all the way over here. Also coming with him was Reina. After Cora hugged Marowak's body turned golden. He disappeared into the Pokemon Tower with a look of relief on his face. You Longdu. It turns out that Ghost is actually Marowak. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. What a sad and respectable mother, close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Marowak, even if she died, she still thought about her children, so she turned into Ghost. And because she saw Team Rocket coming, she turned into Ghost. We'll repeat words that make people leave. Professor Oak. After seeing Cora for the last time, Marowak's wish came true and he was saved and ascended to heaven. Most people around the world are silent. Team Rocket is truly an organization that deserves death. Not all villains are as reserved as the Rockets trio. The more important thing is to do whatever it takes, regardless of the existence of Pokemon. Xinglu looked at Marowak ascending to the sky in silence for a long time. Finally, he shrugged and slowly left the Pokemon Tower. I've pretty much taken care of this Crimson and that miscellaneous fish. If you can't handle this, don't say you're from Pallet Town. What a great talker. Qihong quietly took Pikachu back. Then he ran up quickly. On the stairs above, Red met 3 Team Rocket members slumped on the ground. Rena and Corcola also followed. When she saw the Team Rocket trio, Corcola was also an enemy and was extremely jealous. It was these Rockets who killed his mother. Don't go to Corcora. Leave this place to Qihong. Reina caught Corcola, who was about to rush forward in time. She believes that Kai Hong will solve the Rockets well. Click. Take this thing and get out. Don't let me see you again. Qihong threw the ghost scanner back to everyone on Team Rocket. He didn't bother taking Team Rocket stuff. Young brat. Do you think this is the guy just now? Let me teach you a lesson. One of the Rockets members stood up with support. Because the inventory was skipped a lot when Crimson conquered Pokemon. So the audience doesn't know that Red has conquered the round-faced Pikachu. As for why it's not played, can I say that I don't know when to arrange the time to conquer it? Ha ha ha. It feels like red is complete when Pikachu is worn. Chapter 99. Sneaking into Team Rocket X, entering Team Rocket and opening up unparalleled, square root. Advertisement. Just as Qinglu said, he had defeated most of Team Rocket's Pokémon just now. So the only member of Team Rocket who can resist red is coughing. He was easily defeated by the red Charmeleon. Seeing that Team Rocket refused to change their ways, Red directly asked Charmeleon to give them a flamethrower. These Team Rocket bastards don't have the physique of a real mega rookie. One swallow of flamethrower and he was seriously injured. This can be regarded as giving them a lesson for Korokora. If you are stubborn, this is a lesson for you, it won't be that simple next time. Before leaving, Shihong also called an ambulance and police car for them. Then go up and rescue Mr. Fuji. Yu Longdu. Shihong is still kind-hearted. If it were anyone else, I would probably destroy their humanity directly. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Diantha. Like you, close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. Ahem. Don't slander me, I'll put them in jail at most. Cynthia. From here on, the red legendary road seems to have slowly emerged. How long has it been traveling for? I feel that his Charmeleon is already as strong as a normal gym leader. Close black lens bracket. Steven. It should be only 3 or 4 months, right? It's quite fast, but it won't be that easy to improve in the future levels. Close black lens bracket. Bruno. Yes, especially the elite level is an insurmountable threshold. Close black lens bracket. Many champions discussed Shihong's strength. Everyone feels that Shihong's improvement speed seems a bit fast. Only 3 gyms have already reached the gym level. However, everyone agreed that it would take at least a year for Kai Hong to reach the elite level. After all, the threshold of elite is not that easy to cross. Professor Oak's laboratory backyard. There was an inexplicable luster in Xiaozhi's eyes. Shihong's improvement speed is much faster than what he was before. When he was in the 3rd gym, let alone Charmeleon, Pikachu, Bai, was not as strong as his round-faced Pikachu. Even his current strength is estimated to be just a little bit higher than Kai Hong. But he has something that Shihong doesn't have. That's the companion you travel with. This kid, won't he feel lonely if he travels alone? Delia looked at Shihong and couldn't help but said. He felt the breath of his child on Shihong's body. I was also worried about Shihong's lonely journey. It's okay, Mom. Although Shihong doesn't have anyone to accompany him on the trip, but he has Pokemon to accompany him. Delia nodded in agreement. Yes, there are Pokemon accompanying Red. That's right, I don't have anyone to accompany me in the video, right? Gary is really miserable. Fortunately, we are here to accompany you. The girlfriend behind Gary said in unison. It attracted a chilling look from Xiaozhi and Misty. Xiaogang was extremely envious. Image continues. After rescuing Mr. Fuji, Red received a grateful gift from Mr. Fuji, a prop called the Pokemon Flute. This item can wake up sleeping Pokemon. In addition, there is a small wooden box. When Shihong opened the wooden box, everyone was shocked. Open black lens bracket Yulongdu. Mega Evolution Stone and Key Stone. Close black lens bracket. Bruno. Wowsow. Is this all okay? Mr. Fuji even gave away this thing. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. After all, Crimson Red saved Mr. Fuji's life. But sending the Mage Evolution Stone and Key Stone was still surprising. I thought that Mega Evolution had not been found in that world yet. Diantha. That Evolution Stone seems to be Charizard's Evolution Stone, right? Close black lens bracket. Steven. Yes, that pattern should be Charizard's Evolution Stone. I'm jealous. I also want Metagross Evolution Stone. Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. I still want Dragonite. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. Unfortunately, except for Garchomp, your trump card evolution stones have not been discovered yet. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia gave both of them a hard blow. Garchomp's Mega Evolution has been confirmed to exist. But Dragonite and Metagross have not been discovered yet. Xiaozhi looked at the chat on the barrage with a confused look. Should he tell Mr. Lance that there is no Dragonite Mega Stone in the Tiandao store? Metagross does have the Mega Evolution Stone, but for Dragonite. If there is not even a Tiandao store, then Dragonite is basically determined. He has no Mega Evolution. Mr. Lance will probably suffer a major blow. Otherwise, let's wait until they come back and then tell them. In addition, many people are also wondering, how come Cynthia and others recognize Charizard's Mega Evolution Stone? Could it be that Professor Buratano has discovered many new evolutionary stones so far? On Mt. Silver. In the snowy weather, there is a figure sitting on the top of Mt. Silver in the ice and snow. There were 7 Pokemon of different shapes around him. The figure is naturally red, and the Pokemon beside him are the 7 strongest Pokemon in his hand. Shihong couldn't help but feel nostalgic when she saw the 2 stones. Advertisement. Charizard, we have to thank Mr. Fuji. Without him, we might have fallen into the Cerulean Cave. Roar. Snort. Mewtwo snorted coldly. If those two broken stones hadn't allowed that Charizard to evolve again. He will never be conquered by Kai Hong. Why, wouldn't it be nice to travel with me? Asterisk. Red words can always hit people's hearts directly. Mewtwo was unable to refute this. During the days when I was with Kai Hong. It does make people feel happy. Looking at my past self, it seems quite interesting. It should be Giovanni next, right? In Red's muttering, the video continued to play. After getting the Mega Evolution Stone and Key Stone, Kai Hong continued on her journey. His next goal is Rainbow Gym. With Charmeleon, he naturally took down the Rainbow Badge easily. Later, in Celadon City, Red discovered the secret base hidden by Team Rocket. One person rushed in single-handedly. Relying on his own strength, he rescued the Pokémon captured by Team Rocket. And for the first time, he picked up the boss of the Rockets, Giovanni. From here on, Chi-Hong has shown some signs of abnormal growth. Although Celadon City's rocket hideout is not particularly defensive. The guards are not very strong either. But, a 10-year-old boy destroyed it directly, which is already an exaggeration. After Giovanni had a confrontation with Kai Hong, he did not take action. According to his words, he is too lazy to deal with this kind of brat. Team Rocket headquarters. Why do I feel like the boss inside is different from the boss here, Mikey? Yes, if it were our boss Giovanni. I'm afraid he would be cut into pieces, right? After all, he destroyed our base in Celadon City. Isn't it too much to just kill this guy? The boss inside seems to be a little indecisive. Various members in Team Rocket headquarters have deep memories of the ruthless Giovanni. How come Giovanni is so kind in the video? In the office within the headquarters. Giovanni looked at himself in the parallel world without saying a word. I'm thinking about something in my heart. He is different from what Team Rocket members think. The self in the picture, maybe not soft-hearted. But just being soft-hearted towards that brat. What kind of magic power does that trainer named Crimson have? Image continues. After defeating Celadon City Rocket Hideout, Red continued on the road. His next location is Koga at the Fuchsia Gym. Round-faced Pikachu and Charmeleon successfully won the battle 2 against 4. So far, Chi-Hong already has 5 badges. His next location, the location of the 6th badge, is Saffron City. During this period, the red Charmeleon finally evolved into Charizard. Everyone doesn't know yet, what kind of shocking things will this Charizard do in the future? Yu Longdu. What a fast growth rate. Chi-Hong's 6 vs 2 gym battle seemed like normal just now. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Lorelei. Wasn't that just now? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Today's red can already fight 2 against 4. And that Pikachu reminds me of another person's Pikachu. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Diantha. Xiaozhi's Pikachu, right? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Yes, except for the rounder face, the rest of the aspects are very similar to Xiaozhi Pikachu. Especially in terms of combat power. At present, except for Kai Hong and Xiaozhi's Pikachu, I have not seen the third one. 3 such powerful Pikachu. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Did you just realize? The relationship between Chi-Hong and Xiaozhi is the relationship between Gary and Qinglu, close black lens bracket. Much of the world was taken by surprise. It turns out that Chi-Hong is Xiaozhi's peer in parallel. But, doesn't it look too different? Professor Oak basically looks exactly the same. Xiaozhi. Me in another world. I'm looking forward to it. When will you grow up? Xiaozhi. Kai Hong Na said to herself. The condition for him to go back to his original world is fight him in this world. And his name in this world is Xiaozhi. Red Heart is curious. Xiaozhi, what kind of person is he? Does he also love Pokemon? In the image, after Chi-Hong came to Saffron City, she didn't have time to challenge the gym. I was involved in a big incident. He and Qinglu rescued a woman in Saffron City. This woman is the secretary to the president of Shirov Company. Advertisement. Sheriff Company. No matter in that world or this world, he is a great Grand Duke. This is a major company that manufactures Pokemon merchandise. Such as Pokeballs, Pokemon rations, and even some artificial Pokemon exercise props. After understanding, it turns out that the current Shirov Company has been occupied by Team Rocket. The purpose of Team Rocket is the ultimate Pokeball, Master Ball, currently being produced by Sheriff Company. If the Master Ball is made, no matter what kind of Pokemon it is, it can be conquered by throwing the ball directly. Even the legendary beast may not be able to break free. This is where the currently developed Master Ball excels. In order to realize their ambition to dominate the world, Team Rocket will naturally not let go of such a convenient prop. If Master Ball is real, if it is developed and can be mass-produced, the world is in danger. Moreover, in order to develop Master Ball, a large number of Pokemon are also needed as experiments. Currently, there are many Pokemon in Sheriff Company who cannot bear the experiment and have died. Red and Green also understand the importance of the matter. So he quickly took the president's secretary to the vicinity of the police station. However, the police station is surrounded by Team Rocket members dressed in black. There is no way to get close to the police station. So Qihong came up with a way. Let Qinglu take the president's secretary to the police station in Celadon City to report the crime. Qinglu found it troublesome at first and didn't want to take action. He just wanted to get the badge quickly, and then he challenged the Alliance Elite Four and became the Alliance champion. As a result, Qihong grabbed her collar and pressed her against the wall, yelling. Are you still indifferent after listening to what I just said? Do you know how many Pokémon have died tragically at the hands of Team Rocket now? Do you know what the world will be like if the Master Ball is developed? If one day, the world is controlled by Team Rocket, and all Pokémon are played with by Team Rocket, what's the point of becoming the Alliance champion? You are not qualified to be a Pokémon trainer, let alone a champion. Yulongdu. Well said, only this kind of value can be worthy of the word legend. Close black lens bracket. Blaine. What an upright young man. He truly lives up to his reputation as a legend. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. Qihong is such a hot-blooded and upright young man. I was so excited to see him. I must have a discussion with Qihong in the future. Cynthia. Today's Qihong is really similar to Xiaozhi. That kind of love for Pokémon, and hatred of evil, he is worthy of being a peer from another world. Close black lens bracket. Professor Oak. Alas, my unlucky grandson let everyone down. Close black lens bracket. Gary. Hey, Grandpa, I am not Qinglu. I will take action when encountering such a thing, okay. Close black lens bracket. Gary also equated himself with green at the beginning. As a result, after seeing Qinglu's wise performance, he quickly drew a clear line. Who are you? Are you crazy for wanting to be a champion? If the Rocket's plan is completed, what's the use of becoming champions? Do you think being the champion will be able to deal with the Rockets who have mastered the Master Ball? This kind of IQ is not worthy to be compared with his uncle Gary. Amidst the red shouts, Qinglu finally woke up from his dream of becoming a champion. Then he promised Qihong that he would take the president's secretary to the police station in Celadon City. But, I'll take her to the police station, what are you going to do? I'm going to sneak into the Sheriff building. Green. Are you crazy? That place is now occupied by Team Rocket. Being able to completely invade the Sheriff building shows how many people Team Rocket sent out. Even if you look for elite trainer, you may not be able to get any 0.2 benefits. Are you going to die if you go in? Facing Qinglu's loud questioning, Qihong said firmly. There are still many suffering Pokémon in the Shiloof building. I can't ignore them. 1 minute every night, a Pokémon may be harmed. I want to rescue them. Green is speechless. This childhood sweetheart, he is always stupid and dumb. But I don't know why. Now his appearance makes Qinglu feel. He seems to be able to burst out with endless power. Normal. Moreover, Qinglu felt something in him that he did not have. Tisk, it's up to you, don't die so easily. Yes, I will. After the words fell, the two walked with their backs facing each other. Bruno. Really? Does Qihong want to compete with an entire Rockets team? Yu Longdu. It's a bit foolhardy. It's good to think about Pokémon, but it also depends on your own strength. Agatha. I admire this young man very much, but it's really overestimating one's ability to compete against the Rockets alone. Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. I guess the police will have to come to rescue Qihong in the end. Anyway, Qihong will be fine, otherwise there would be no way to become a legend. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Cynthia. Do you all think so? Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. What, Cynthia, do you think Qihong can beat Team Rocket? You know nothing about Team Rocket. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Haha, let me reply to you, you know nothing about Qihong. Close black lens bracket. During the quarrel between the champions, Red entered the Sheriff building. At first, Qihong sneaked in cautiously. But when someone discovered it, things got out of hand. One person found out, everyone alerted. Helpless, Qihong had no choice but to defeat them all. This way no one would know that he had sneaked in. Sneaking into Team Rocket. Wrong. It's about joining Team Rocket and becoming unparalleled. Chapter 100. From elite to champion in 1 or 2 months. Are you cheating? Advertisement. Open black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Close black lens bracket. What the hell? Is Team Rocket too weak or is Red too strong? What's going on with these people? Are they all miscellaneous soldiers? Why was he instantly killed by Kai Hong when we met him? Is this the Rockets he has worked so hard to deal with? Diantha. Cynthia, how do you know that Qihong can do it? Everyone watched the video together. I actually feel that Qihong's strength is not enough to deal with the entire Autumn Arrow team. Cynthia. Rather than believing in Qihong, it's better to say, I believe in Xiaozhi. Cynthia. It can actually be seen from Sceptile's inventory that when Xiaozhi fights for Pokémon, he often displays strength beyond ordinary people. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. On the other hand, the same goes for his Pokémon. When he explodes in power for trainer, that is when his Pokémon is at its strongest. I believe red also has this characteristic. So the current red is very strong. Close black lens bracket. Under Cynthia's words, everyone thought for a while and found out that this is really the case. Xiaozhi will breed for Pokemon, and his Pokemon will also breed for Xiaozhi. Complementing each other, they have infinite power at critical moments. This is why Cynthia believes in red so much. Because Qihong is Xiaozhi's peer. On the first floor, Qihong was discovered, so Kai Wushwang defeated all the rockets. Originally, the audience thought that Kai Hong would be more stable in the future. As a result, Kai Hong had no idea what the word infiltrate meant. On the second, third, and subsequent floors, contest condition has been discovered. Kai Hong said, "Since you have been discovered, I will kill you all. This way no one will know that I infiltrated. Yulongdu. This is called sneaking in, right? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. It's called sneaking, but it's really unparalleled, awesome. Day. Sneaking in like this, it's really a great experience. Alder. Akaduro, I think you have the potential to be a spy. As long as you kill all the targets you infiltrate, you will be a spy that no one knows about. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket crimson. Close black lens bracket. In fact, even Qihong herself couldn't help but laugh when she saw the scene where she sneaked into Team Rocket. This infiltration seems a bit incompetent. But forget it, the result will be fine anyway. In the image, Red rescued all the Pokemon and even the researchers one after another. None of Team Rocket's Pokemon are Red enemies. Otherwise, how can it be called Wushwang? While working as researchers, one of the researchers gave Red a new Pokemon. Lapras. Kai Hong got another powerful helper. Soon, all the researchers in the Shirof building were evacuated. All the members of Team Rocket also fell in various places in Shirof building. Just wait for the police to arrive and arrest them directly. And Qihong finally arrived at the top floor of Shirof building. He also saw the man again. Giovanni. After some negotiations between the two parties, Giovanni once again prepared to evacuate. This time Crimson stood in front of Giovanni. No matter how many times you Team Rocket's evil plan, I will crush it. You'd better stop it as soon as possible. Giovanni looked unhappy, with a cold glint in his eyes. What an arrogant brat. It seems that this time, I have to teach you a lesson. With that said, Giovanni waved his hand and asked his men to open a box containing Pokeballs. And took out one of the Pokeballs from the box. Master Giovanni, why do you care about this brat? Humph, he is not an ordinary kid, but an arrogant kid who keeps irritating my nerves. And he also destroyed our rocket's plans twice in a row. Maybe it's the best choice to eliminate him here. As he spoke, Giovanni threw the Pokeball in his hand. And Red also threw the Pokeball at the same time. Roar. An orange-red fire dragon appeared on the field. On Giovanni's side, on the other hand, there is a strong blue and white Pokemon from the 10th century, Nidoqueen. This is one of Giovanni's main Pokemon. Known as Giovanni of the Earth, his main Pokemon is naturally Nidoqueen. I set Beedrill to be Giovanni's trump card on Xiaozhi's side. In origin, the main players are all ground type. Double kick. Giovanni spoke calmly. Facing the flying type Charizard, he confidently used the fighting type moves. Nidoqueen stepped on the sole of his foot and arrived in front of Charizard with lightning speed. Before Charizard could react, a big glowing foot kicked him in the face. In this narrow space, Charizard was kicked back hard. Immediately afterwards, Nidoqueen landed, turned around flexibly, and kicked out again. Boom. Charizard was driven directly into the wall by this powerful force. Charizard, who had almost no defeats in the previous battles and won consecutive battles. He was actually beaten so badly by the leader of Team Rocket. Charizard, Flamethrower, Surf. Advertisement. Red quickly ordered Charizard to counterattack. However, Nidoqueen arrived in front of Charizard in just a moment. The moment Charizard opened his mouth and hot flames poured out. Nidoqueen's hand also condensed into a ball of roiling water. Water and fire collide. In an instant, a huge explosion occurred at the scene. The whole building seemed to be experiencing earthquake normal. It was shaking like crazy. And all the electricity was cut off due to the explosion. The smoke slowly dissipated. The top floor of Shiroof building has been shattered. Charizard lay helplessly next to the ruins, having lost the ability to fight. Nidoqueen, on the other hand, received almost no damage. One move, killed instantly. This is the great strength of Giovanni. Qihong also fell on the ruins, and Jinping was unconscious. Yu Longdu. The Giovanni here, is probably even stronger than the Giovanni here. His level should be at the level of a championship level trainer. Close black lens bracket. Wallace. Surf is so powerful, not even worse than some of my water-type Pokemon. Bruno. That double kick should not be underestimated. This is not the unique move of the ground system. It's hard to imagine how terrifying Giovanni's full power will be. Diantha. It's not that Crimson is not strong, it's that Giovanni is too strong. Being able to take that double kick and have the power to fight back, Crimson Charizard is probably almost at the elite level. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. I didn't expect Giovanni to be so powerful. You know, all members of Team Rocket except Giovanni were defeated by Red. Close black lens bracket. Blaine. In fact, Shihong's operation was successful this time. Strictly speaking, Shihong did drive away Team Rocket and rescued the people in Shirof building by himself. Unfortunately, in the end he wanted to force him to stay live in Giovanni and suffer this defeat. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. But, if he didn't do this, he wouldn't be Red. Close black lens bracket. As Cynthia said, if you just watch Giovanni walk away, he is no longer Red. Red is a trainer with a strong sense of justice. In the image, Giovanni walked calmly to Kai Hong, who was lying on the ground, almost unconscious. I thought you were a great trainer with Charizard, but it turned out to be nothing more than that. What a gentle flamethrower. You should practice for another 10 years. No. You have no chance. Giovanni is preparing to give Crimson the final blow. However, downstairs, the rapid and piercing sirens sounded, and the police were coming. Lord Giovanni, let's go first. A helicopter floated next to the broken floor, and Giovanni had already prepared an escape method. Come back Nidoqueen. Giovanni took Nidoqueen back. In fact, it only takes one more time to solve the red problem. There was no need to waste much time, but Giovanni still took Nidoqueen back. You saved a life, kid. You better walk around Team Rocket when you see them next time. Who me, you saved a life. JPG. Why would you do such an outrageous thing to Pokemon? At this moment, Kai Hong struggle opened his eyes and slowly stood up. Why? Because Pokemon is part of my business. In order to make a business successful, sacrifices are inevitable. Therefore, our business must not fail. As long as I control the world's money, the whole world will be under my control. Giovanni said matter-of-factly. But there was a faint feeling in my heart that something was wrong. Why did he have to say so much to the kid in front of him? Stop joking. Pokemon are not props that can be bought and sold at will. They are our friends. Family. Hearing this, Giovanni raised his eyebrows and looked at Charizard, who was bruised and unable to move at all, and said mockingly. Family. But you made your family lose so miserably. You even suffered serious injuries. You don't treat your family well either. Shihong looked stunned and turned to look at Charizard who fell in the rubble. There is an indescribable feeling in my heart. Yes, he hurt his family, and it was such a serious injury. HMPH, after all, a brat like you doesn't understand anything. Just play your Pokemon game and don't bother Team Rocket again. Otherwise, I won't let you off so easily next time. With that said, Giovanni jumped on the helicopter and flew away. Shihong looked at Giovanni who was walking away, and slowly moved his body to Charizard's side. Then he sat down weakly. His scarred palms gently caressed Charizard's scarred body. I'm sorry Charizard, it's all my fault for being too weak, we will never lose again in the future. Absolutely. The image gradually dimmed. This is not the end, it is just the beginning of court change. Yu Longdu. Alas, it's a pity that Shihong is still too young now. If he is given another 2 or 3 years, he might really be able to have a chance with Boss Giovanni. Close black lens bracket. Bruno. I guess the next image will say that Shihong is practicing hard, and will fight Giovanni again in 2 or 3 years, and then avenge his shame. Dandy. Red's road to revenge, I'm really looking forward to it. Close black lens bracket. Steven. But, in 2 or 3 years, can we really train Kai Hong to reach the level? Champions are a bigger threshold than elite. Close black lens bracket. If it were so easy to achieve the championship level. Advertisement. Champion level strong men in the world would no longer be so rare. Diantha. Idiot, isn't Shihong himself here? You won't ask how long it took Shihong to complete Giovanni's revenge. Close black lens bracket. Red. I can't remember clearly, probably a month or 2. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Yulongdu. Close black lens bracket. X. Open black lens bracket day. Close black lens bracket. After everyone saw Kai Hong's words, they typed out Zhu Hong's famous sayings. Diantha. Brother, we are asking you when you will take revenge on Giovanni. 1 or 2 months. Even a small level increase of Pokemon is not enough. Close black lens bracket. Shihong. You will know after reading it. Close black lens bracket. On MT. Silver. Shihong continued to look at the picture on the video. Charizard was at his side to keep him warm. Mount. Silver here is colder than MT. Silver over there. I haven't fully gotten used to it yet. In the image, after driving away Team Rocket, the research and development of Master Ball also stopped. Perhaps Sheriff Company also feels that if it develops the Master Ball, the world will be in chaos. Shihong also continued his journey. First, he used Haunter, Pikachu and Charizard to defeat Sabrina from Saffron Gym in a 3-on-3 match. Got the Saffron City badge. Then I got a new Pokemon, Hitmonlee, in the fighting gym. Later, Red Riding Lapras came to Cinnabar Island. Defeated Blaine with unstoppable force. Got the 7th badge. After getting the badge, Chi-Hong went to a place called the Pokemon Mansion on Cinnabar Island. There, he saw something like a diary called Normal. The above seems to say, a new species of Pokemon has appeared in the world that has never been discovered before. This made Kai-Hong curious. Up to this point, most of the battle scenes have passed quickly. But many elite champions already sensed something was wrong. Judging from the sporadic battle scenes, how did this red Pokemon improve so quickly? It feels like I have reached elite. It makes no sense. Did Chi-Hong spend a lot of time walking around to reach the Cinnabar gym? But Hong's appearance hasn't changed much. It's really confusing. Soon, Chi-Hong traveled all the way and returned to the vicinity of Joban City. He heard that the Viridian Gym is the strongest among all the gym leaders. He was so excited that he immediately drove bicycle to Joban Gym. He wants to fight more powerful enemies and learn more things. He wants to become stronger. Lorelei. Tequila Gym. Isn't this the gym where Giovanni is located? Could it be that Kai-Hong is about to face Giovanni now? Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. If Kai-Hong's inventory had come out earlier, we might have discovered Giovanni's true identity without Tiandao's inventory being revealed. Close black lens bracket. Catalya. I'm off topic. Li's Zhao is not talking about. Did Chi-Hong challenge Giovanni again? How long has it been since then? Close black lens bracket. Lucian. Didn't Chi-Hong just say that it took him a month or two to complete his revenge? Could it be that? Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. How is that possible? It is absolutely impossible for Kai-Hong to defeat Giovanni at this point in time. It hasn't been long since his last defeat. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Okay, red. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Where's the betting market? I want the betting market. Open black lens bracket crimson. Close black lens bracket. Chi-Hong, who is new here, still doesn't understand Lance's poisonous milk plot. So he was a little confused by what Cynthia and Diantha said. Open black lens bracket Xiaozhi. That's it. Mr. Lance. Close black lens bracket. Xiaozhi explained Lance's poisonous milk story in detail to himself in the parallel world. Chi-Hong suddenly realized, does it turn out that there is still such magical power in this world? It seems that we have to be careful. Yulongdu. Hash. Has even Xiaozhi already admitted that I am a poisonous milk? Damn it. I don't believe it. A red who was defeated not long ago and was not even elite level. How could you defeat a championship level being in such a short period of time? Although Lance hates Giovanni, he has to admit that he is quite powerful. There is absolutely no way the current Chi-Hong can deal with it. Just wait and see. In the image, Chi-Hong came to the Joban Gym and happened to meet Qinglu coming out of the Joban Gym. From Qinglu's mouth, we learned that Qinglu had already finished fighting the gym leader of Tequila Gym. And he had obtained the Earth Badge. Work hard, although I don't think you can beat him. After all, this gym owner is not comparable to the previous gym owner. Said Qinglu slowly left the steps. Chi-Hong was already used to his fierce rival's harsh words. After watching Qinglu go away, Tu-Hong also turned around and headed to Tequila Gym. As soon as I arrived, I was told that the owner of the hotel had gone out. How long did it take for Qinglu to finish the challenge? Helpless, Red had no choice but to wait where she was. Chapter 101. Legendary Showdown, Red vs. Giovanni. What a champion. Advertisement. Chi-Hong waited from morning until night, and the gym leader Sukiwa hadn't come back yet. However, he was also stubborn, so he built a bunkhouse nearby. He won't leave until he finishes challenging the Joban Gym. Although he usually doesn't seem to care much about green. In fact, he has always regarded Qinglu as his only and strongest enemy. He doesn't want to be worse than Qinglu. So even if Qinglu can win at the gym, he also wants to win. In this way, until the next morning. Chi-Hong woke up in a daze and continued waiting at the door. When it was almost noon, the guard at the door told him that the owner of the museum was coming back. He can go to the gym first and wait. So Chi-Hong entered the Viridian Gym. This place is too dark. It's also very different from other gyms. As soon as Chi-Hong came in, she felt that the surrounding atmosphere was a bit gloomy. And, for some reason, he felt that the figures around him looked familiar. Welcome back, owner. Suddenly, the person directly in front shouted loudly, which startled Chi-Hong. Then he reacted, turned around and looked, and a person who was deeply impressed in his mind appeared in front of him. I just knew you would come here one day. Giovanni, why are you here? Isn't this an obvious thing? I am the master of this place, the gym leader of Viridian Gym, Giovanni of the Earth. His red face was full of disbelief. How is it possible? How could someone like you become the owner of the museum? Could it be that this place is also? Giovanni slowly walked towards the inside of the gym and spoke slowly. Yes, this is Team Rocket's hiding place. So now, are you going to challenge me as the gym leader? Giovanni's hand slowly caressed a Pokeball on the machine. Red shouted with an angry look on his face. Stop joking. Why are you a gym leader? Although the gym leaders I met before have different approaches and ideas, one thing they have in common is that they love Pokemon. Shihong slowly turned around, with a dazzling cold light in her eyes. A guy like you who uses Pokemon as a prop doesn't deserve to be a gym leader. You are the strongest gym leader or something. I will never agree with that. Absolutely. Hearing this, Giovanni's lips curved into a smile. Whether you agree or not, the fact is that I am the most disgusting person. So, are you going to fight? Or not? The young man clenched his fists tightly and said coldly. Of course I have to fight. But, this is not a challenge to the gym leader, but a challenge to Pokemon's enemies. Giovanni's face had turned cold at this time. Then he snapped his fingers and the lights inside the gym were turned on. Surrounded by copper walls iron defense, if you fight here. Then we won't destroy an entire venue at every turn like last time. Yesterday, a kid similar to you came over and challenged me. Although he is an arrogant brat, his level is far higher than other trainers. It's green. However, the battle between me and him is just a battle between the owner and the challenger. If I deal with you. Giovanni put down the Pokeball in his hand. The instrument containing the Pokeball slowly landed, and the last 3 high-grade black and gold Pokeballs reappeared on the instrument. That's different. Giovanni picked up one of the Pokeballs and thought to himself. Why do I feel so excited all of a sudden? It was the same when I was in Shirov Company. What kind of magic power does this brat have? Let me verify it properly in this battle. Giovanni's inner voice was well played by the video. Lorelei. PFF'd. Sorry, I know I can't laugh at times like this, but I really can't help it. Ha 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 ha. What kind of psychological activity is this from a domineering president? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Is this the history of love and hatred between the overbearing leader and the righteous boy? Close black lens bracket. Catalya. If it were replaced by Boss Ba's novel, it would be very good. This woman, Shihong, successfully attracted my attention. I want to make her, his body and mind a sweet possession to revenge her, him. Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. Hey, he is the evil leader of Team Rocket, but I can't help but laugh. Why? PFF'd. Open black lens bracket crimson. Close black lens bracket. Shihong was left speechless by these fools. It's strange, the Elite Four and the champions in his world clearly don't have this style of painting. Why are people in this world so funny? Is it because of the emergence of this thing called Tiandao inventory? The most important thing is, even he wanted to laugh when he heard it. Meeting room at Team Rocket headquarters. Quote. When Archer saw the comments on the barrage, he couldn't help but cover his mouth. Turning around to look at the other 3 executives around him. Everyone covered their mouths with their hands to prevent themselves from laughing. It's really hard to hold on. That serious boss. After being suddenly transformed into a domineering president by a demon, I felt a very funny sense of déjà vu. A tic-tac-toe appeared above Giovanni, who was sitting at the top of the conference room. Advertisement. If anyone dares to laugh again, I will let him enjoy Team Rocket's top 10 tortures. Everyone's faces instantly became serious. Giovanni looked at the barrage list and secretly became angry. Damn it, Diantha, Cynthia, Catalya, you name it, I will settle the matter with you when I get the chance. And me from another world. Are you crazy? Why are you doing so much mental activity on a kid? There's nothing special about that kid, right? At most he's just growing up a little faster. Now in this secret room environment, it is the best time to eradicate him. I from the other world, kill Shihong. Although Giovanni was thinking this, when he thought of the title of this inventory. He had a bad premonition in his heart. Plus, the battle between Red and Giovanni is about to begin. This time Giovanni only uses 3 Pokemon, but Red can use 6. However, Shihong is no longer the fledgling trainer she was. If you use 6 Pokemon against the leader of Team Rocket, then what's the difference between losing? So he wants 3 to determine the outcome. As the gym leader, let me take the lead. With that said, Giovanni threw the black and gold Ultra Ball in his hand. The blue light flashed, and a blue and white Pokemon appeared on the field. This is the Nidoqueen who instantly killed Charizard last time. This time there is this powerful enemy at the beginning. And the psychological pressure on Shihong is also extremely high. In this regard, there was no shyness on the red face. The next moment, he switched out his starting Pokemon. The Pokemon on the red side are also blue and white Pokemon. Behind it is a huge gray hard shell. This is the Pokemon that Red obtained in Shiroof Mansion, Lapras. Oh, fighting with water type, it's much smarter than using Charizard, but unfortunately, you still can't be my rival. Double kick. Surf. Facing Lapras with water and ice, Nidoqueen's double kick was extremely effective. The last time I almost sent Charizard away with 2 kicks is still vivid in my mind. Facing the swift Nidoqueen, Shihong chose to use Surf to deal with it. Lapras screamed, and a huge stream of water gathered in his mouth. Then it burst out. The rolling water waves are coming. All the attack paths of Nidoqueen are blocked. Surf is a large-scale skill, and Red's move is to block Nidoqueen's trajectory. Kick him away. Facing the terrifying water flow, Giovanni was not afraid and let Nidoqueen kick the water away. Boom. The big feet glowing blue kicked hard on the rushing waves. The huge wave directly opened a big hole. However, behind the cave, Lapras disappeared. What? Now, use the hydro pump. Giovanni seemed to notice something. When his wife looked over, Lapras actually rode the wave that was coming. Nidoqueen charged directly through the wave, leaving Lapras behind instead. Oh. The violent water power condensed in Lapras's mouth. Then it turned into a thick water column and hit Nidoqueen hard on the back. Nidoqueen was hit by this terrifying force and slid all the way. He hit the wall of the gym. Give him the last Bingshuo. Several small crystal clear ice cubes appeared around Lapras, and then quickly ejected. As soon as Nidoqueen stood up, he was directly hit by the ice cube that was as fast as lightning. After a pitiful growl, she slowly fell to the ground, unable to get up again. Giovanni's expression turned ugly. Compared with before, Kai Hong has made great progress. Not only in terms of tactics, but also in terms of level. Yu Longdu. Isn't that right, sir? How long ago did you get this Lapras? You just got it in Saffron City, right? You can train it to the championship level soon. Are you kidding me? Wallace. That water power is definitely at the level of a champion. Red. It's so terrifying. Lole. I am also the owner of Lapras. Although that Lapras is much weaker than my Lapras, it does have championship level power. Close black lens bracket. Lorelei's Lapras is her trump card Pokemon. Although Lorelei is called Elite Four, she is a real champion. Lapras, who has been recognized by her, is naturally not normal. And the breeder time may only be 1 or 2 months. What a monster. Cynthia. Not only the level, but also the redness has become more skillful in the tactics. Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui. That's right, use the surf move to cover the opponent's sight and ride directly behind the wave. This way, no matter what response the opponent uses, you can get the absolute right to strike the next blow. Closing square bracket. Professor Oak. After Hydro Pump hit the opponent, it was already determined that the opponent was the residual candle in the wind, so he used Bingshuo, which can attack first, to take it away. This boy named Shihong is really amazing. Red's tactics and prowess were praised by the champions. 0. Please give me flowers. And everyone in the world finally understands why the title is called Road to Legend, the fighter. If even this speed of improvement cannot be called legendary. Advertisement. Who else deserves to be called a legend? Even if it is the most popular nowadays. The undefeated King Dandy, who is known as the world's mightiest, probably hasn't grown up so horribly. Many people think that the names of those who fought were given wrongly. It's more like calling someone who hangs on the wall. In the image, Giovanni took Nidoqueen back with an ugly expression. You're doing pretty well, kid, but then, it won't be that easy. With that said, Giovanni released the next Pokemon. A Pokemon wearing gray armor appeared on the field. Raiden. Known as Giovanni of the Earth, the powerful Pokemon in his hands are naturally ground-type Pokemon. The momentum of this Raiden is much stronger than that of Nidoking just now. Lapras. Surf. Shihong will carry out the tactics to the end. This is Surf. Do you think my Lapras is riding on it, or not? The violent currents are sweeping in. The overwhelming wave almost covered the entire venue. Rock Tomb. Giovanni shouted loudly. In Raiden's violent voice, several huge rocks gathered around Raiden and crashed down. Keep him firmly inside. This move Rock Tomb is used as protect. The wave rushed directly over the rock, failing to push away the solid and huge rock. But Lapras got behind Raiden again. However, what was waiting for her was Raiden, who had already accumulated rock energy and pushed too far. Hey, you want to play the same trick again? Stone Edge. Roar. Raiden lifted his huge body and stepped hard on the ground. The whole gym seemed to be shaken 3 times. Huge energy poured into the ground, and huge sharp rocks rose from the ground one after another. With lightning speed, it hit Lapras, who was preparing to attack. Rock-type skills deal double damage to Lapras. What's more, it's the Rock-type's ultimate move, Stone Edge. Lapras was knocked away as if he had been hit hard. A big hole was poked in the body. The gurgling blood slowly flowed out, and Giovanni showed no mercy and continued to give orders. Rock Slide. Bingshuo. Shihong reacted instantly and let Lapras use Bingshuo, which he could use first. Seriously injured, Lapras managed to condense several crystal clear ice cubes, which shot out like marbles. At the same time, several rocks also gathered around Raiden. Bingshuo attacked first. Although it deals twice the damage to Raiden, Bingshuo's power is still too small after all. After eating the ice, Raiden counterattacked directly. Several thick stones burst out. It all fell on Lapras. The last breath that Lapras barely held finally came out. Lying on the ground helplessly, losing the ability to fight. At this point, the two sides have completed a 1-to-1 exchange. Yu Longdu. Giovanni's counterattack is also very crisp and clean. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. The Giovanni in the picture is probably no less powerful than us 8 masters. Steven. The strength of that Raiden makes it very difficult for even my Metagross to deal with it. Close black lens bracket. Agatha. To put it another way, Giovanni in our world may also have such strength. Lance, be careful when chasing Team Rocket. Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. Don't worry, Granny Agatha, my dragon army is invincible. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Now that Lapras, who restrained Giovanni, has been defeated, I don't know what Red's next Pokemon will be. Close black lens bracket. Gala. Marowak, rival is the leader of Team Rocket this time, we must not lose. Today, now that he has become Marowak, he stands in front of the leader of Team Rocket, looking like a giant. Not long after he was born that year, he stood like an ant in front of the Rockets. Day. As this Marowak. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. So this is Marowak's revenge battle. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia just typed this line of text. Alder. How far will Coricola, who was so weak that she was bullied by 2 Team Rocket soldiers, grow now? I'm really looking forward to it. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. It must be the Korokora who was in the Pokemon Tower. I didn't expect Red to conquer it. Close black lens bracket. He wants to defeat the leader of Team Rocket. After hearing that rival was from Team Rocket, Marowak, who was originally expressionless, suddenly became more motivated. A white bone is placed on the head, and a white bone club is held in the strong arm. To comfort the mother river of the spirit in heaven. Bone-loving Pokemon. Marowak. Red in the image has already taken back Lapras and released his next Pokemon. There seems to be endless resentment and anger in his eyes. Open black lens bracket Catalia. Marowak rushes. Close black lens bracket. He can lose any battle, but he cannot lose this battle. Chapter 102. Do you understand the value of seismic toss? Advertisement. In the image, Giovanni was stunned for a moment when he saw the angry Marowak. This Marowak has a grudge against Team Rocket. This Marowak was hunted by your Team Rocket when he was Coricola. You wanted to sell Coricola's skull, but his mother saved it. For this, Coricola's mother paid the price with her life. Now, it's up to Coricola to personally defeat you, the leader of Team Rocket, because his mother retaliate. Hearing this, Giovanni smiled mockingly. Did you choose Marowak just for this boring reason? I thought you would think of attribute to suppress this level. In that case, let me crush your boring thoughts. Horn drill. As soon as he finished speaking, Raiden suddenly stepped out, and the sharp phoenix on his forehead began to spin wildly. This kind of excuse is not boring. Marowak, bone rush. Boom. Marowak's bone club is covered with a cyanwood-colored gloss. The entire bone club doubled in length under the coverage of energy. The next moment, the stick collided with the horn attack that was designed like an electric drill. The heartbreaking sound resounded throughout the entire gym. 2 powerful attacks collided. The terrifying aftermath erupted, making the clothes of the 2 people rustle. Bang 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 bang. After the collision, the 2 sides did not stop. Marowak started waving the drumstick in his hand wildly. Beat Raiden crazily at irregular angles. However, Raiden is not a fuel-efficient lamp either. He perfectly predicted Marowak's attack angle. The huge head also twisted rapidly along with it. All attacks were defended by the horn drill. That's all it takes after all, Raiden, surf. Giovanni seemed a little disappointed, and then ordered loudly. Raiden used horn drill to defend against bone clubs, 207, blow. The other hand has begun to condense turbulent water energy. Marowak, pull back and defend with bone club. Gala. Even in the midst of rage and hatred, Marowak also obeyed Red's command without reservation. Because this person is a training request that makes him stronger and gives him a chance to retaliate, which is a blessing to him in this world. Bone Club once again teams up with Horn Drill Tackle. But this time Marowak directly assisted and pushed back several meters. At this moment, Raiden threw the water balloon in his hand. The water ball instantly turned into a huge wave. Marowak was covered in it. PFF'd. In the huge waves, a figure shuttled out. I saw Marowak turning the bone club in his hand like a blender. A gap was opened directly in the huge waves. However, Marowak, who charged out, discovered that Raiden had disappeared. Oops. Marowak, back there. Marowak quickly turned around and discovered that Raiden was riding the wave. And it has already burst out, approaching him quickly. Giovanni actually used the same tactics that Kai Hong just used. This was something Chi Hong didn't expect. Kid, this is called payback. It's over. Ice punch. The cold fist glowing with ice blue light swung hard at Marowak. Yulongdu. It's really ridiculous, calling others brats and brats while plagiarizing other people's tactics. Bruno. Did you pay the copyright fee? Just use the red tactics. If I were Giovanni, I would be embarrassed. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Haha, you can use the enemy's tactics so confidently, you are truly worthy of being the villain's leader. Close black lens bracket. Faced with the ridicule of the champions, the city is trapped and can only endure. After all, what they said seems to be true. While insisting that others are too young, while using other people's tactics, this In the image, looking at Marowak who can no longer dodge Ice Punch. He bit his red-silver teeth and then shouted loudly. Marowak, hold on, use Retaliate. Boom. The icy fist struck Marowak's skull. Marowak was pushed several meters away by Raiden. However, after the ground was rubbed with deep marks, Marowak finally stopped. Then, he raised his head with difficulty. The eyes exude unforgettable hatred. Raiden couldn't help but feel a little scared after seeing this look. Gala. Marowak's growl is filled with endless hatred. The drumsticks in his hands are covered with ghost-like purple energy. Then he swung it out hard. Retaliate is a skill that is used after your partner loses the ability to fight in the last battle, and its power will be doubled. But, Marowak is always remembering the revenge of his mother. So his Retaliate, when facing the rockets, it's always twice as powerful. Boom. Boom. Advertisement. Raiden flew out like a cannonball and hit the gym wall hard. The gym's copper wall, iron defense, was dented directly by it. Give him the final bone boomerang. Gala. Marowak threw the bones from his hand. Its speed erupted in the air with sound of piercing the air. Stone Edge. Roar. Raiden half opened his eyes and punched the ground with his fist. Sharp stone peaks rise one after another. Even at the end, Giovanni still fought back. Boom. The attacks from both sides hit at the same time, making a huge noise. Smoke filled the entire battlefield. By the time the smoke cleared, Marowak had fallen to the ground. And Raiden also fell to the ground helplessly. HMPH, do you lose your ability to fight at the same time? Can this also be considered a Retaliate? Giovanni mocked subconsciously. As a result, Marowak slowly stood up. How can it be? Giovanni felt a little unbelievable. He knows the strength of his Raiden attack all too well. It's incredible that this Marowak can sustain Ice Punch. After eating a stone edge at the back, I was still able to stand up. Is this really Marowak? Although Marowak stood up, he is just a candle in the wind now. All he has to do is get his bone club back. After Marowak gets bone club back, he didn't look at Raiden again, but looked at Giovanni with cold eyes. In the end, it turned into relief. The Pokémon that defeated the leader of Team Rocket head-on has already been considered a Retaliate for his mother. From now on, he no longer lives for revenge, but live for your own trainer. Marowak's inner activities naturally appeared on the big screen. This made people around me couldn't help but admire him. He is really kind and affectionate. Just defeating the opponent's leader's Pokémon already made me feel relieved. Open black lens bracket Bertha. What a nice Marowak. Close black lens bracket. Day. I didn't expect that Marowak looks so fierce but has such a kind heart. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Maybe it's not just because Marowak is kind, but also because he has a kind-hearted trainer who is always soothing his wounded heart. Yu Longdu. It is unimaginable that such motivation actually allowed Korokora to go from being as weak as an ant to a champion-level existence in just a few months. Close black lens bracket. Alder. Hatred made him stronger. Love kept him from going astray. Marowak didn't turn black. I guess red accounted for 70% of the success. The other 3 successes are Mr. Fuji who took Marowak in at the beginning. Mount. Silver Peak. Chihong looked at Marowak beside him, only to turn his head away, letting Chihong blush on him. Even he himself had almost forgotten the inner activities at the time. Unexpectedly, the dead black history would attack him now. It's too shameful to reveal your feelings in front of trainer. Image 1. Red took Marowak back, although Marowak has not lost his ability to fight. But now it is very difficult for him to even stand, let alone fight. Now it's actually equivalent to both sides having the last Pokémon left. I have to admire you, little brat, for being able to force me to this point. But this last Pokémon of mine can perfectly counter your Charizard. Are you still planning to let Charizard play? Kai Hong lowered the brim of his hat, and then took out a red and white ball. If we don't use Charizard, it would be meaningless. Stupid guy, I'm going to blow up your Charizard and your boring self-esteem. Giovanni's words were telling Red that his last Pokémon was a Pokémon that restrained Charizard. He wanted to see how Kai Hong would respond. However, Chi Hong still persisted in using Charizard. This made him feel extremely complicated for a while. Open corner bracket. What on earth was I expecting? He's just a kid who doesn't know how to fight, and only knows how to express feelings. Although the improvement in strength surprised me a little, but it shouldn't be this that pulls my heart. I saw Kai Hong twisting around, making a gesture of throwing a Pokeball, and then threw the Pokeball fiercely. I won't lose. Absolutely not. Charizard is the proof of my growth since the battle. Let him knock you down. Please, Charizard. Roar. The fierce fire dragon with spread wings appears on the battlefield. When Giovanni saw the red posture, memories flooded into his heart instantly. This posture, yes, this is the posture. Once upon a time, I used this posture to throw the Pokeball. At that time, my blood was so excited and my fighting spirit was surging. Saying, please, the Pokemon poured out its emotions. So there was a time when I was as obsessed with Pokemon as this kid. Where did it start? I only treat Pokemon as a business. Giovanni slowly made the same gesture as Kai Hong. Then throw the Pokeball hard. Go Golem. Rumble. The ever-strong Golem appears on the field. Advertisement. Rock Grounds Golem, 4 times more powerful than Charizard. Giovanni didn't cheat on red, this Pokemon was indeed very restrained against Charizard. But compared to this, Diantha. Ha 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 ha, laughing to death. The inner monologue of the domineering president. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. Crimson X Giovanni, I feel like they don't quite match each other 0, close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. I didn't expect that Giovanni would start to reflect on himself during the battle with Chihong. It's incredible, close black lens bracket. Alder. Akataro, like Chitaro, has the magic power to change people's hearts. Close black lens bracket. Team Rocket headquarters. Giovanni was already about to crush grip the chair he was sitting on. He doesn't admit it. He will never admit his own virtue in the parallel world. After fighting a brat I had met twice or 3 times. He actually abandoned his ideals and beliefs. This is not him at all. In the video, the battle has reached a fever pitch. Giovanni took the lead in attacking. Rollout attack. Golem turned into a ball and started rapid spin. The gray-brown body disappeared in the blink of an eye. Fly Charizard. Charizard waved his dual wingbeat and was in midair in an instant, dodging Golem's lightning-fast rollout attack. Kid, did you think this was the end? I saw the Golem spinning and rubbing wildly on the spot, and with this power, it suddenly started to bounce. His red pupils shrank and he shouted quickly. Great text fire. The scorching flame quickly condensed in Charizard's mouth. The next moment it burst out, forming a huge character that suddenly fell down. The scorching flames hit Golem's body, and there was a stalemate with rollout. This move of big text fire is not to cause much damage, it is just to stop that rollout. Boom. However, Golem's power is beyond Chihong's imagination. The Golem in rollout directly breaks through the scorching flames. Then tackle Charizard hard on the belly. Charizard felt like he was hit hard, his eyes bulged out, and he was sent flying out. Boom. Rollout. Rock-type moves, 4 times more restraint. Fortunately, the layers of rollout are not stacked up now, otherwise Charizard would probably be finished by now. Charizard was knocked against the wall and recovered quickly. However, Golem did not give him any chance to breathe. He rapidly spins his body and comes down to Charizard again. If big words don't work. Charizard, Brick Break. In order to increase the attack surface, Kai Hong is his own Charizard and has learned many unique tricks from other systems. Facing the Golem attacking again, Charizard's 2 claws glowed with orange light. Then his claws formed into palms, and with a sound of piercing the air, he slashed at the attacking Golem. Zzzz. The 2 skills collided and made a harsh sound. The 2 sides were in a stalemate for a while. Control him Charizard. Roar. Charizard used his claws for the second time. The Golem that was rolling out was directly restrained. The rollout was stopped. However, Golem is a huge weight weighing up to 600 kilograms. Even if Charizard restrained him, his body did not have the power of 0.3 to carry him flying soaring in the sky. The best thing to do now is to just throw the Golem down. But how could Giovanni let this opportunity pass? Use Nibble. Rumble. Golem directly bitten Charizard's shoulder. The sharp teeth pierced into Charizard's flesh and blood. In an instant, Charizard let out a painful roar, and now he seemed unable to throw it down directly. Slowly Charizard began to fall. This was not because he landed on his own initiative, but because he could no longer support Golem's weight. There were some beads of sweat on his red forehead. If this continues, the moment Charizard lands on the ground, he should be directly attacked by the opponent's rock type. By then, he will lose. Suddenly, a red light flashed, and Yin shouted. Charizard, use flamethrower on ground. Roar. The scorching pillar of fire burst out with overwhelming power. It hit the ground hard. The powerful reaction force instantly lifted Charizard into the sky. Just use seismic toss. Under Chihong's command, Charizard used his strength to flip, and then threw Golem down hard. A piece of flesh was even torn off his shoulder by the Golem. But, seismic toss was finally used. Golem was thrown directly to the ground. Cracks like spider web normal appeared on the floor instantly. Dust is everywhere and the ground is shattered. After everything calms down. On the ground, Golem's limbs were hanging down limply, losing its ability to fight. This move, seismic toss, has outstanding results. Not only does it have enough flying height, moreover, the weight of the Golem itself is terrifying. So he defeated it with just one move. This was the ultimate showdown against Giovanni. In the end, Chihong was superior and defeated Giovanni. Chapter 103. Team Rocket was disbanded with one sentence, Brother Gia is love. Advertisement. Seismic toss. Seismic toss again. Is it popular for Charizard to use seismic toss as a killing move now? The most important thing is, whether it's Xiaozhi or Chihong, their Charizard seismic toss has really become a killer move. After basically using it, you can stabilize serious injuries or defeat one. Why can Charizard use fighting-type seismic toss as ultimate move? It's just these two. How outrageous. Question. From now on, how long will it take for Red to disband Team Rocket? A. Within 5 minutes. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. B. 1 month. Close black lens bracket. C. 1 year. Open black lens bracket. D. 3 years. Close black lens bracket. Note. Shihong cannot answer or speak. Please answer within 3 minutes. Close black lens bracket. After the Crimson defeat of Giovanni. Before the audience could speak, a question suddenly popped up on the screen. This should be a temporary answer while watching the movie. Just this question. It's a lot of information. No matter which option it is, it proves that. After this game, Kai Hong disbanded the Rockets. Turtle. Team Rocket is a huge organization, although most of its manpower is in the Kanto region. But there are also many Rockets people in other regions. To be able to disband such a huge organization, Red deserves the title of legend. Yu Longdu. Oh, people are so infuriating. I have been a prosecutor for many years, and I have destroyed some Rockets branches. As for disbanding Team Rockets, I'm afraid it will take me a lifetime to complete it. Close black lens bracket. Damalanchi. What a great feat it is to disband Team Rocket. Speaking of which, hasn't Kai Hong appeared in our world now? Can you ask him to help disband Team Rocket? Close black lens bracket. Lole. President, your idea is really surprising. And, it doesn't seem impossible. Steven. Let's discuss that kind of thing with Shihong later. What we should be discussing now is, which option should we choose? Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. Eliminate a first, within 5 minutes. Are you kidding? Could it be that Giovanni can just disband Team Rocket? Close black lens bracket. Agatha. I think B can also be ruled out. It will be difficult to disband this international evil organization in 1 month. It should be about the same in 1 year. Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. Yes, with Red's ability, Team Rocket should be able to be solved in 1 year. Close black lens bracket. Everyone has been speculating about a year's time. No matter how powerful Kai Hong is, he still has to give Team Rocket some respect. Disbanding Rockets 03 in 1 year is already a high regard for Shihong's ability. In the real world, Xiaoya is almost crunch. Now the majestic Rockets are actually going to be forced to disband by that kid on the screen. What a joke. But, the inventory system has not made any mistakes yet. Coupled with the comments from the champions on the barrage list, Giovanni felt a little worried. That guy named Crimson won't really disband the Rockets he created in this world, right? No, we need to take some protective measures against that guy. After watching this video, you can easily find his weaknesses. Soon, the time for answering the questions arrived, and the person who rushed to answer this time was Yulongdu. Yulongdu choice C, 1 month. Unfortunately, Yuryudu gave the wrong answer. As punishment, after the tournament ends, only flying-type Pokemon can be used in the battle for the next month, and Dragon-type is not allowed. Yulongdu. Wow Sao. So cruel. Are you pinching me? Forget it, you can only use flying-type Pokemon. There are already many flying-type Pokemon. However, there is a strip on the back, so the one with Dragon-type cannot be used. This is what he wants to do to make his title as Flying Champion Master come true. Isn't this inventory of heavens way too poignant? Steven. Ha 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 ha, Flying Champion Lance. Ha ha ha, close black lens bracket. Cynthia. PFF'd, speaking of which, Lance also used 3 flying types when you fought against me. Lorelei. I just told you that Lance is the champion of the flying type. There are not many dragon types, but there are a lot of flying types. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Yulongdu. You guys have gone too far. Close black lens bracket. These bad friends, even if they don't comfort him, they actually rub salt into his wounds. But having said that, if Shihong hadn't disbanded Team Rocket in a month, how long did that take? Could it be 3 years? If it were 1 month, that would be a bit too much. Did he use a cheat? He disbanded the Rockets in just 1 month. As for 5 minutes, Lance never considered that option. This is obviously released for your elimination. After Lance answered incorrectly, the video continued to play. Giovanni looked at his fallen golem in disbelief. Unexpectedly, Shihong actually used the propulsion power of the flamethrower to fly up with the golem weighing 600 kilograms. And that Charizard was also very vicious. He even ignored his own shoulder being bitten. He threw golem directly to the ground. Looking at Charizard's blushing face with excitement and distress, Giovanni felt that something in his heart seemed to be touched. This kid is really amazing. Congratulations, you won this game. The Charizard who was instantly killed by my Nidoqueen was now able to fight against my golem. What a magical little devil. Advertisement. As he spoke, Giovanni stretched out his hand and opened his palm, revealing a green leaf normal badge in front of his red face. Shihong looked at badge. After pondering for a while, she looked at Giovanni firmly with her eyes and said, I do not want. What? I don't want the leader of Team Rocket's badge. Seeing the red firm expression, Giovanni fell silent. After a long time, Giovanni's lips curled up slightly and he said with emotion. You little brat, you are really getting on my nerves more and more. After finishing speaking, he turned to his cronies and said. Send my order to all Team Rocket branches. Starting today, Team Rocket will be disbanded. Open black lens bracket Yulondu. Close black lens bracket. X. Opening square bracket colon question mark closing square bracket. Open black lens bracket Damalanchi. Close black lens bracket. Ah, are you okay? Really? Are you going to disband Team Rocket? In the image. Boss Giovanni. Boss. This. Faced with the dissuasion from rivals' cronies, Giovanni waved his hand, indicating that they did not need to persuade him anymore. By the way, let me tell all the Rocket's members. Thank you for your hard work. After saying that, Giovanni looked at Shihong, who looked shocked and confused, and said. In this way, this is not the badge of the leader of Team Rocket, but the badge of the gym leader. What a wonderful game. Shihong was stunned for dozens of seconds before she reacted. The boss of the Rockets disbanded the Rockets in order to have the green leaf badge under his command. Why is it like a dream? But now, the green leaf badge is right in front of him. He felt clearly that this was not a dream. In that case, the green leaf badge, I accept it. Red took the green leaf badge from Giovanni's hand. The Rockets team, which was famous in Kanto and even the world, was disbanded under Giovanni's frillish words. Its purpose is just to let a teenager take his badge. Yulongdu. Shocked Dragonite for 100 years, what kind of operation is this? Bruno. Turtle, this is unheard of. Isn't this too outrageous? Close black lens bracket. Catalya. Brother Gia is love. Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. This love can already go down in history. In order for the boy to accept the token of love, he domineeringly disbands the evil organizations all over the world. Ah, is this the love path of the leader of Team Rocket? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Crimson. Close black lens bracket. What's going on with the people here? Is there a problem with him or with them? Giovanni was obviously moved by his passionate fighting and changed his ways. What kind of love? Is it poisonous? Kai Hong, who was already speechless, was made even more speechless. Diantha. I have to perform here. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. First of all, it's absolutely impossible to be a. Can Boss Giovanni still disband Team Rocket on his own? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Wickstrom. Ha ha ha, Diantha, can you do that again? Ha ha ha. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Drasna. Ahem, this performance, how should I put it, is extremely exciting. Ha ha ha, sorry, I couldn't help it. Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. Lance, his reputation has been ruined. No, it should be said that, his reputation has spread far and wide. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Low EQ. Lance, high EQ. Lance, are you interested in being a prophet? Close black lens bracket. Hard, Lance's fist is hard. But, I can't refute it. Is he really that powerful? He can even disband Team Rocket. No way. Otherwise, he secretly said that the world cannot be peaceful, then will the world be peaceful in the future? Boss. Don't disband Team Rocket, boss. Yes, boss, we have seniors and juniors. If you disband Team Rocket, there will be a large number of homeless people in the world. Boss, think twice. The real world Rocket's headquarters. 4 executive almost knelt down to Giovanni. I originally thought that Red would forcefully disband Team Rocket. However, I never expected that the mole would be by my side. The boss is the biggest mole. Giovanni personally disbanded Team Rocket, and even the 10 heads of the 4 executives couldn't come up with such a situation. The previous domineering president was just teasing. But now, this is the overbearing CEO who has given up all his family property for love. It's outrageous. Shut up. That's me in the parallel world in the image. How long have you been following me? Who would I be? Giovanni slammed the table and shouted coldly. Team Rocket was disbanded for a boy he had met a few times. What a joke. There is no way he would do such a thing in his life. Do these subordinates think that he is as incompetent as him in the parallel world? And he in the parallel world, what a waste. In order to give the Takiwa badge to a boy, Team Rocket was disbanded. What kind of brain circuit? Even in body, he can't beat Sister Lee. Could it be that it's really love? Ba ba ba. No, we must find a way to eradicate Chihong. By the way, there are also Chihong's peers. Xiaozhi. Advertisement. These 2 people will definitely be a serious problem for the Rockets. Amidst Giovanni's loud shouts, his subordinates stopped mourning. Everyone looked at each other. Your peer also showed a cold and heroic appearance before. But, I'm still so excited that I have to disband Team Rocket. Who knows if you in this world will have a brain twitch. If Giovanni knew what his subordinates were thinking, he would probably make his subordinates' brains go crazy. After defeating Giovanni, Red has collected 8 badges. Logically speaking, now we should be attending the conference. Then after winning the conference, you can go against the Elite Four. But the rules of the Red world are different. The gyms in their world are powerful barriers one after another. As the number of badges increases, the strength of the gym leader will become stronger. So collecting all 8 badges means, you already have the strength to fight against the Elite Four. And Qihong's previous strength was even more explosive, showing that he already has the power to defeat the champion. Since there is no time display on the inventory, no one knows how long it has been since Qihong. But judging from his journey, it shouldn't take more than 2 years. Most likely in about a year and a half. 1.5 years, from zero to champion. What kind of devilish genius? This can no longer be described as a genius. This is a genius. In this way, Red came to Indigo Plateau. As long as he defeated the Elite Four here. That Red is the new Alliance champion. There are 4 consecutive rooms in Indigo Plateau. After determining the challenge, all elites will be waiting for you to challenge them in the room in order. The room has the latest biotechnology, and no matter what damage is suffered, it will be restored in a very short time. So you can enjoy the battle inside. During this period, all Pokemon can only be restored using potion, etc., and there is no way to go to the Pokemon Center. And you can't change Pokemon. In other words, Red must defeat 4 elites in a row to become the Alliance champion. This is exactly the same as the Alliance champion in the real world. But, the Elite Four of the Kanto region are scary people named 710 Elite Four who are actually champions. I just don't know what the level of the Kanto Elite Four in the parallel world is like. Soon, Red passed through the Indigo Plateau and challenged the Elite Four. The first elite to fight is the Ice Elite, Lorelei. Lorelei. Oh, am I the first one to face off? Haha, under my Ice-type army, Kai-Hong may still have to suffer some hardships. 3 minutes later, open black lens bracket Lorelei. How possible? Close black lens bracket. 3 minutes later, Yuan Hong successfully used his round face to Pikachu 6. Its ghostly speed and huge electric power completely control Lorelei's ice army. Throughout the whole process, the opponent couldn't even hit Pikachu with a single move. Number 1 among the Elite Four, Lorelei, defeated. Next, the second Elite Four that Qihong met was Fighting Elite, Bruno. Bruno. Haha, Lorelei, you can't do it anymore. Just look at me. Let Zihong see the strong muscles of our Pokemon. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Crimson. Close black lens bracket. Qihong responded to Bruno's words. Bruno has no idea what this sentence means. Is he speechless? What was so speechless about what he said? 3 minutes later. Open black lens bracket Bruno. Fake, right. Close black lens bracket. It's still 3 minutes, Red 2-6. Defeat Bruno. Facing the fighting type Bruno, Kai-Hong chose a bug type Butterfree. This Butterfree has completely changed the impression that bug type Pokemon are weak among people around the world. The red Butterfree is not only extremely fast, but also very good at using various powder attacks. Even its own attack power is quite high. Under the staggered blow of 2 powders, Stun Spore and Sleeping Powder. Bruno's fighting type army was basically defeated by a few hurricane moves. Throughout the entire process, Butterfree was still unscathed. As for why Kai-Hong used 2, that's because Bruno pulled out a huge Onyx. This is the Onyx that Bruno conquered in Miyaha Mountain. Because of its huge size, Bruno liked it so much that he added it to his main team. Therefore, when Qihong faced this Onyx, wisely, he replaced Lapras and killed him instantly with 2 Surf moves. In fact, if Kai-Hong only uses Butterfree, he can also make 6 in a row. It's just that Onyx looks particularly meaty, and Butterfree isn't attack focused. In order to save energy, I put on Lapras. After all, Kai-Hong heard that the last Dragon-type elite, the commander of the Elite Four, is very strong. At this point, the 2 elites were defeated by Crimson Red. This directly made Lorelei and Bruno unable to deal with it. Agatha came forward to comfort the 2. Agatha. Don't be too sad. The Elite Four in the video are actually a bit different from you. They can reach the Elite Four chief level at most, and the Pokemon they hold are generally stronger than yours. Be weak. Close black lens bracket. Agatha is right, Lorelei and Bruno in the picture are much weaker than they are in reality. However, despite this, they were all red in a row. Even if they are in the real world, they are probably not the red rival at all. Chapter 104. The strongest elite and the strongest champion. Speed elite and fastest champion. This chapter is very fun. Advertisement. Qihong's journey is actually in the eyes of the audience. However, it was not until the battle against Giovanni from the Viridian Gym that everyone was surprised to find out that. It turns out that Kai-Hong is already the champion trainer. In the subsequent battle against the Elite Four, Qihong's powerful strength showed them even more. What does it mean to be a fighting man? Decisive choices, calm fighting methods, and extremely powerful Pokemon. Even a Butterfree was trained by Crimson to a championship level. And, none of them had seen Qihong use that Butterfree before. Of course, this is also related to the fact that there are relatively few battle scenes in Red. All in all, They can only use 2 words to associate Chi-Hong, that is monster. A complete monster. The images continue. After Kai-Hong defeated Bruno, he next faced the Ghost Elite, Agatha. This time Red unleashes his trump card. Charizard. Both generations and special edition, Red seems to be Pikachu fierce, here Charizard is set as the first trump card, Pikachu is second. After all, Xiaozhi has already regarded Pikachu as the number 1 trump card. Charizard's scorching flame burns away all darkness. Granny Agatha's ghost-type army was also defeated. It can be said that Agatha is stronger than Lorelei and Bruno. Experience is also more sophisticated. However, the Pokémon she faced this time were also different. That's the Pokémon that Red has been carrying with her from the beginning. It belongs to Red's number 1 trump card, Charizard. Therefore, Agatha once again showed everyone what it means to be F*******ed. Agatha didn't feel anything about this. After all, she is already quite old, and she doesn't have such a strong sense of honor and dignity. What's more, there were 2 young men before her who were beaten by 1 Thunder and 6. Oh, I made a mistake. One of them is a 2-string 6. In addition, the person being stringed along was her counterpart in the parallel world, not herself. Therefore, Agatha is quite open-minded. After defeating Agatha, Red finally has to face the last of the Elite Four. He is also the strongest person. Dragon Messenger, Yulongdu. Even in the parallel world, Lance is the strongest being among the Elite Four. He is called the commander of the Elite Four. Yulongdu. Watch it, I will only perform this once. Close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Although I may lose in the picture, the battle scene must be a battle between dragons and tigers. It must be more difficult for Kai-Hong to defeat me. After all, I am the messenger of the dragon. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket crimson. Close black lens bracket. Seeing Chi-Hong making the same statement again, Lance couldn't help but lie. What the hell is this ellipsis of yours? The last time you sent this provincial number 733, Bruno was F*******ed. This time. No way, you're not going to perform that again, are you? I am the head of the Elite Four, Yulongdu, who has a powerful dragon legion. Isn't it too much for you to hit 6 in a row? In the image. Red walked up to Lance. Lance flicked the cloak behind his back and said enthusiastically. Thank you for making it this far. Just let me see your power, Chi-Hong. See if you have what it takes to defeat my dragon army. Gonna FK Mr. Lance. Red lowered the brim of his hat, and then threw the Pokeball in his hand hard. Lance also released his own Pokemon at the same time. What Watanabe uses here is naturally his signature Pokemon, Dragonite. And on the red side is Lapras. This time it's not 3 minutes, but 5 minutes later. Yulongdu knelt down on the spot with a look of disbelief. The second and last Dragonite he boarded was hit by Lapras' cold freezing ray and fell to the ground. How could it be possible? My dragon army actually. Not only was Lance in the image depressed at this time. Lance is also depressed in real life. Just today, he was defeated by Cynthia in the 8th Master competition. Forget it. In the video, he was even R******D with Lapras by a teenager. Although this is the longest string of 6 that I have persisted in. But, he still got F*******ed. Being treated like a nightmare by normal. Lapras. Lorelei. Ha 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 ha. Lance, can you do that for a second? Diantha. This game will definitely be a battle between dragons and tigers. It will be more difficult to defeat me. I am the messenger of the dragon. Blaine. I didn't expect that the dragon messenger was beaten to his knees on the ground. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect Lance to have such a famous scene. Did someone take a photo of it? Close black lens bracket. Alder. Me. I originally wanted to record a red legend. I never expected it. Ha ha ha. Close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Delete it. Delete it for me quickly. Alder turned a deaf ear to this. Last time, Diantha's dark history was threatened by her directly using the mega-evolved Gardevoir and had to be deleted. This time he saved the copy directly and put it into the computer. Lance's threat has no effect at all. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. Haha, that's quite interesting Lance, close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Lorelei. Lance is indeed the strongest elite, he actually lasted for 5 minutes. Close black lens bracket. Bruno. I'm jealous, I can only hold on for 3 minutes. Lance almost cried, a deaf. He was born in the Yulong family, and he has been the strongest, invincible, and tenacious being in the family since he was a child. Even after he came out and became famous in the outside world, he almost never felt depressed. But since the inventory of the Way of Heaven came out, he is either deflated or on the way to becoming deflated. Damn it. And he didn't get any benefits at all. Diantha is so frustrated, but she has the Mega Evolution Stone and the Key Stone. Where's Lance? Lance has nothing. In reality, Lance is still depressed, but in the image, Lance has stood up. The expression on his face was completely gone. It was as if he was not the loser just now. I saw him put his hand on Hong's shoulder and said in a congratulatory tone. Red, congratulations. Now you are the champion of Pokémon Alliance, even though I feel like saying so. Hearing this, Kai Hong was startled. Yulongdu should be the last level of Elite Four, right? Could it be that there are actually 5 Elite Fours? Actually, not long ago, someone has already challenged our Elite Four and entered the Hall of Champions. It's about half an hour different from you. Our Elite Four also quickly restored the Pokémon contest condition after receiving the news that you were coming to challenge. So, you have to defeat the current Alliance champion to be considered the real champion. Hearing this, all the audience were shocked. Someone actually beat the Elite Four consecutively before Red. Who is so strong? And, so to speak, Lance lost twice in a row in half an hour. Turtle, what a devilish experience. The invincible Long Jadu was actually bombed twice in one day. What a miserable word. No wonder Lance recovered so quickly after losing. It turns out that I lost once not long ago. So I was mentally prepared for this defeat, ahem. In the image, after listening to Lance's words, Shihong looked at the open door in front of her. He seemed to feel a strong and familiar atmosphere inside the portal. If he guessed correctly, the person who defeated the Elite Four should be that person. After saying goodbye to Lance, Kai Hong walked slowly towards the last passage. After passing through the long dark corridor, Shihong came to the last room. Behind this room is the Hall of Champions. Kai Hong opened the door and walked in slowly. In the dark room, a person sat on the throne. He gently tossed the Pokeball in his hand. When he saw the person coming, the lights in the room suddenly turned on. I saw Qinglu with an arrogant and excited expression, crossing her legs and looking at Hong Hong happily. Hey, Kai Hong, you're here. I've been waiting for a long time. Qinglu, how could you? Shihong was stunned after seeing Qinglu. Before he could finish asking, he already knew what was going on. In other words, you were the one who defeated Mr. Lance, right? Ha, what do you think? Besides me, is there anyone else who is the rival of the Elite Four? Oh, I should also add you. I've been waiting for you for a long time, Shihong. I firmly believe that you will get here. Qinglu slowly stood up from the throne, then covered one eye with one hand. Said extremely confidently, come on, Red, let's see who can become the King of Alliance. In order to wait for you, I didn't even log into the Hall of Champions. Only if I defeat you. I am the real champion. Let me see if you are still as weak as normal. Crimson, your stool, did you bring it yourself? Green, I have made so many declarations of war with you, why do you care about this? Day, no, we live in Bungbu, why are Zihong doing this? Haha. Catalya, grr, the red one in the image is even cuter. He talks a lot and gets right to the point. Nothing like the red one now, most of the time. Open black lens bracket crimson, close black lens bracket. The black history who died just now attacked Merriwick. Now the dead black history comes to attack him. Did he talk so much back then? When did it start? Probably after arriving at MT. Silver. It seems that I have to go down the mountain to practice, otherwise I really won't even be able to speak. Gary, Grandpa probably didn't teach you this kind of thing, right? Professor Oak looked at Gary with a strange expression. At this time, Gary's face was also flushed. Although those words are indeed quite cool, but, if they are played out in public, it's completely a social death scene. I won't do this. The me on the screen is not me. It just looks like me. Gary blushed and retorted. And Xiaozhi, surprisingly, he didn't laugh at Gary. Because, he thinks Qinglu is really cool like this. That movement, that tone. So cool. But after all, he is better in another world. One sentence directly broke Qinglu's pretentious aura. Xiaozhi, you can't imitate Gary. Advertisement. Delia said to Xiaozhi seriously. Now Xiaozhi seems to be envious of the green look, but when he grows up, if someone records such an image. Delia was afraid that he would jump into the river. In the image, the boring gossip was directly ignored by Qinglu. In this Hall of Champions, there is naturally no such thing as a stool. So he really brought that stool. Originally, in his fantasy, it would be a serious and tense high-end showdown. It is up to him, the champion, to accept the challenge of Shihong, the challenger. As a result, one sentence almost broke his defense. By the way, Qinglu, you actually defeated the Elite Four so quickly. Ha, I am one step ahead of you in everything during the journey. Get the badge faster than you. Get to the next city faster than you, and become the champion faster than you. I am a born king. Really, how long have you been the champion? More than half an hour. Hearing this, Shihong slowly took out a Pokeball, with a smile on her lips. Half an hour. Then you may become the fastest fallen champion in history. Qinglu was also stunned by Shihong's power trip words. Then he took out a Pokeball and answered unceremoniously. Let me see if you only have a tough mouth. Boom. Both parties release the first Pokemon at the same time. The red one starts with Snorlax, while the green one starts with the Eagle. The two sides began a fierce battle. Different from the previous red-red crushing duel. Green and green are really evenly matched with red rival. Between each other, you come and I go, without giving in. Only then did everyone realize that Qinglu, who had always been opposed to red, had actually reached the level of a top champion. You know, Qinglu and red came out to travel at the same time. That is to say, damn it, there is a monster like Kai Hong. Green is basically a trainer on the same level as red. Among the 8 masters in the current world, perhaps only Dan Emperor can suppress them. If any of the remaining 7 master level figures faced off against red and green, their chances of winning would probably be less than 50%. The appearance of powerful people is not terrible. After all, the waves behind the Yangtze River push the waves ahead. There will always be geniuses in the world. But, red and green can no longer be described as geniuses. Throughout the entire Pokemon world, no one has ever taken less than 2 years to become the champion from the beginning of the journey. Because the inventory did not give the specific time for the 2 people to travel. They can only roughly guess that it took the 2 of them more than a year to get to where they are now. This is already an extremely scary ghost story. Even the talented Dan Emperor was discovered by Roz before he was 10 years old. He was sent to Ma Shi for training, and he debuted at the peak of his career when he was 10 years old, winning the title of conference champion. However, Crimson and Cyan were created entirely by their own talents. They have not been cultivated by any strong people at all. No financial assistance received from anyone. Right under the noses of audiences around the world. Rising. It's hard to imagine who in their world of Pokemon can be as talented as them. Alchemy Emperor can't do it either. Amid the heated discussions among the audience, the battle gradually heated up. The 2 sides have battled to the penultimate Pokemon. The red round faced Pikachu versus the green Arcanine. Both sides used high-voltage Thunder Shock and Flare Blitz at the same time. The dazzling electric light and the scorching flames intersected, and a huge explosion occurred. In this terrifying collision, Pikachu and Arcanine fell to the ground at the same time. At this moment, both of them only have the last Pokemon left. Qihong, the one you have left should be that one, right? Then there's no need to say. Qinglu, the one you have on your hand should be him too. The 2 of them smiled at the same time, and then threw the Pokeball together. The orange fire dragon spreads its wings and flies high. Cyanwood's Terrapins look up to the sky and howl. The last Pokemon left by both sides is their original Pokemon. Dragon Claw. But this doesn't stop the 2 from colliding at all. Hydro Pump. For a moment, the field was filled with smoke. Shrink. Cyanwood-colored jets of water blasted from Blastoise's 2 barrels. There will definitely be some differences. After all, it will be more durable after evolution. Fire Blast. Qihong, do you still remember the first time Charmander was brutally tortured by my Squirtle? Orange-red scorching flames burst out from the end of Charizard in the shape of the word, big. The collision of water and fire caused a huge explosion in this space. A flash of emerald green light covered Charizard's sharp claws, extending its claws a bit. Then Charizard flapped his wings and flew out. In an instant, he was in front of Blastoise. Blastoise's head instantly curled up. Roar. The 2 of them gave orders to their Pokemon at the same time. 2 sharp dragon claws slashed hard at Blastoise's head. Its powerful power seemed to tear the space apart. Humph, this time is different from before. Chapter 105. The Fighting Man is Red. Exploding Thunder God's Pikachu. With updates attached. Novel image. Advertisement. The sharp dragon claw clawed hard at Blastoise's turtle shell, cutting several horrific scars. This move, Dragon Claw, seems to be quite effective, but when masters try it, it's just a hair's breadth worse than Norman. Now Charizard has lost the opportunity. Blastoise's counterattack. Hydro Pump. Caw. Blastoise poked his head out, aiming 2 huge barrels at Charizard. Seeing this, Qihong shouted loudly. Charizard, leave him quickly. Roar. Charizard flaps its wings and evacuates quickly. But the distance between the 2 parties is too close. Even though Charizard is fast, but, the 2 barrels are already aimed at Charizard. As Charizard leaves, the terrifying waves of water have followed closely behind. The flying fire dragon barely dodged one of the water pillars. However, he was still hit by the second water column. Boom. The cyanwood-colored water column directly knocked Charizard away. Then he fell to the ground. In an instant, the balance of victory seemed to tip to green. See, this is my level. Even if your Charizard evolves, it won't be our rival. Red ignored Green's taunt and asked Charizard. Charizard, are you okay? Roar. Charizard roared and slowly got up from the ground. Tisk, this didn't even defeat him. Very well, Charizard, destroy. Still using fire-based moves. No matter what. Blastoise, Hydro Pump. There was some disappointment in Qinglu's words. This rival didn't seem to give him much of a surprise. Facing the water-type Blastoise, he kept using fire-type moves. The scorching flames and the torrent of water collide again. The field injury once again set off white smoke. Charizard, grab Blastoise. What do you want to do? Blastoise, rapid spin. Somehow, Qinglu felt that if Charizard really caught Blastoise, I'm afraid something bad will happen. Blastoise withdrew her body and began to rotate at high speed on the spot. Its rotation speed even caused a big whirlwind around it. Charizard, use Thunder Punch. What? Green and Green were taunting Red and only used fire-based moves a second ago. Unexpectedly, the opponent's fire-based move is to create smoke, so come close to Blastoise. Then use this killer move, Thunder Punch. Tisk. Golden lightning covered Charizard's claws. A brilliant golden light flashed across the sky. It hit the spinning Blastoise hard. Thunder Punch hits directly, but Blastoise's rapid spin offsets this force a lot. But that's okay, because Thunder Punch isn't the last move at all. The final move that Charizard used as his ultimate move was, of course, catch Blastoise and use Seismic Toss. Bite. At this distance, Hydro Pump can't hit it at all. You can only use Melee Bite to make the opponent let go and give up the skill. But, faced with the bite of a heavyweight Pokemon like Golem, Charizard has no intention of letting go. Cricket Blastoise. Charizard grabbed Blastoise's turtle shell with both hands and brought it up into the air. At the same time, Blastoise's mouth was filled with dark energy, and he bit Charizard's shoulder. The powerful force made Charizard's face look painful. But compared to the damage caused by the previous Golem, this level is not worth mentioning at all. Come on, Charizard. Roar. Charizard flew into the air and turned around like crazy with Blastoise. Blastoise felt a little dizzy while spinning in circles. The force of biting can't help but become lighter. At this moment, Charizard swooped down. Blastoise fell heavily to the ground. Boom. The ground was instantly filled with cracks like spider web normal. There was a huge noise and dust was scattered. Blastoise fell to the ground and could no longer stand up. Advertisement. In the battle between the two top champions, Zihong finally won. Dandy. Why is it Seismic Toss again? Shouldn't Charizard's ultimate move be Blast Burn? Close black lens bracket. Day. As a fire expert, I don't quite understand how Charizard could use Seismic Toss as his ultimate move. Blaine. Yes, I think my duck-billed Charmander was killed by Seismic Toss. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Diantha. Victims of Seismic Toss, close black lens bracket. Steven. In addition to Seismic Toss, which is an unexpected move, Red is also tactically superior to Green. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. So this is the legendary story of Red. Close black lens bracket. About the battle, there are relatively few words and ink descriptions. I tried to solve it in 3 or 5 strokes, so I did not describe various operations such as opening the Weather Protect. The focus is on the Mewtwo battle later. Gary, did you see that? You lost. Ha ha ha. Huh, it's just a matter of luck. I definitely won't lose with Encore. Besides, Blastoise lost to Charizard, will I be able to play in another world? Gary complained dissatisfiedly. The water-type Blastoise should perfectly block the fire-type Charizard. How come someone's Blastoise can't beat Charizard.jpg at the same level? In the image, after Red defeated Green, Professor Oak happened to arrive at the championship battle room. Zihong, congratulations on becoming the Alliance champion. After congratulating Red, Professor Oak looked at Green Road seriously. Xinglu, what a pity. I originally came over here because I heard that you defeated the Elite Four and became the champion. I didn't expect that you would have been defeated by Kai Hong after I arrived. You came too late. Ha ha ha, it's too late. Classic. What did the Red boss say before the battle? The legend of the fastest champion. Ahahaha. How long has it been since Xinglu became the champion? It should be less than 2 hours, right? This is definitely the shortest championship in the Pokemon world, ha ha ha. Xinglu is so miserable. His grandfather, Professor Oak, rushed over immediately after hearing the news. What he saw when he came over was not the glory of his grandson becoming a champion, but the desolation of being a loser. It sounds miserable, why do I want to laugh so much? Professor Oak's visit was really effective. After receiving the news that Xinglu became the champion, Professor Oak rushed over. As a result, when he came over, he found that his grandson had been defeated. This scene has a sense of deja vu, it really makes people want to laugh. Professor Oak in the video asked Xinglu, do you know why you lost Xinglu? Xinglu spread her hands and smiled. It's just bad luck. If it's Encore. Fool. Professor Oak interrupted Xinglu's words loudly. You will lose because you lack trust and love for Pokemon. You only have the championship in your heart, and you only want to become stronger. You know more about the basics than Zihong, and Breeder's method is more formulaic. Even so, you still lost. In the final analysis, you are missing those things. Professor Oak's words gave Xinglu a blow. He looked at the Pokeball with Blastoise in his hand. There are so many thoughts in my heart. Did he lose here? Zihong, you should understand, right? The reason why you can win. Professor Oak turned to Red and asked. Because I trust my Charizard. So Charizard responded to my expectations. The bond with Pokemon is the important reason why I can win. His red eyes looked at Charizard beside him lovingly. Unknowingly, the original Charmander has grown to this point. Alright, Let's talk about the small talk later. Kai Hong, follow me and enter the Hall of Champions to register. Good. Under the leadership of Professor Oak, Red entered the Hall of Champions. 6 of his main Pokémon were also recorded as champion Pokémon in the Hall of Champions record. Charizard, Pikachu, Lapras, Snorlax, Marowak, Butterfree. These 6 Pokémon will be permanently recorded in this hall. At the end, Professor Oak sighed. To be honest, although I think you and Qinglu will eventually grow to an extremely powerful point. But I didn't expect you guys to grow up so fast. It seems that in the past 6 months or so since you have been traveling, your potential has been fully unleashed. Professor Oak's words in the video silenced the whole world. Just, what did Professor Oak say? More than half a year. What the hell? In more than half a year, he went from a clueless rookie trainer to the world's top champion trainer. Even TV dramas wouldn't dare to act like this. Yulongdu. Has my life been in vain? Close black lens bracket. Alder. Stop talking, I also feel like I've lived like a dog in my life. How long did it take me to reach the championship level? It seems like almost 10 years. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. I am probably more than 5 years old. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. It should have taken me about 4 years. Close black lens bracket. Steven. Stop showing off here, no matter how powerful you are nothing compared to red and green. Close black lens bracket. Day. My unattainable championship dream, those 2 teenagers actually spent half a year. Close black lens bracket. Drasna. This is not the normal back wave. This is simply a huge wave. Diantha. I am emo depressed. I thought I was a genius, but now it seems that I am not worthy. Close black lens bracket. Karen. Compared with red and green, Xiaozhi and Gary here don't look very fishy. Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Xiaozhi has repeatedly achieved miracles in previous reviews. But compared to Qihong's achievement of reaching the top championship in the past 6 months, it is still a little behind. Not to mention Gary. Karen watched Gary's performance at the Indigo Plateau Conference. For a trainer who has just been traveling for half a year, it's already considered a pretty good strength. But it took Qinglu half a year to become the champion. So Xiaozhi and Gary in their world, compared to red and green, are indeed a bit inferior. 0. Please give me flowers. Dandy. Not necessarily. Even if they can't do it now, Xiaozhi and Gary still have a distant future. It's not like there are no rising stars. Since they are peers of red and green, they may not be able to achieve their achievements in the future. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Xiaozhi's performance in Alola is not inferior to that of today's red. Although it took some time. Yes, Xiaozhi and Qihong, the places they can reach are the same. Close black lens bracket. Qihong. The reason why I can become so strong has to do with my own talent. Close black lens bracket. Red. During the battle, the strength of my Pokémon can grow extremely quickly, and different levels of fighting will break out at critical moments depending on the degree of bond between me and the Pokémon. Fighting power. Close black lens bracket. Red. This is also why I am called the fighter. By the way, Qinglu's nickname is Breeder. He is not as good as me in terms of top combat power, but all Breeder's Pokémon grow very evenly. Red. In other words, he might hold dozens of champion Pokémon. Ahem. I haven't spoken for a long time. It's still a bit uncomfortable to say so much at once. Kai Hong on the top of MT. Silver pinched his throat and felt a slight discomfort in his throat. And Kai Hong's understatement made people all over the world confused. Fighting men, breeder men, dozens of champions. What version of a myth is this telling? What a devilish talent. And with Kai Hong's talent, why does he have a strange sense of deja vu? Professor Oak. The red fighting talent seems somewhat similar to Xiaozhi's. Xiaozhi's Pokémon will also respond to Xiaozhi's wishes in critical battles, bursting out with super power for Xiaozhi. Energy that exceeds one's own potential. Cynthia. Yes, the most classic one is Pikachu's battle. In every key battle, Pikachu will display extremely terrifying strength. Close black lens bracket. After being reminded by Professor Oak and Cynthia, everyone in the world finally realized. Kai Hong's ability is so similar to Xiaozhi's ability. Moreover, they are indeed peers in the parallel world. Therefore, Xiaozhi does not have as terrifying an improvement rate as Kai Hong. Is it because he has not stimulated his own talent? The fighting man looks so powerful. Do I also have such an ability? Brother Qihong seems to have come to this world now. I really want to fight with him. In Professor Oak's backyard, Xiaozhi seemed a little excited. Seeing the red battle, he couldn't help but get excited. I can't wait to fight Kai Hong right now. The other party also possesses Pikachu and Charizard. Just in time to touch his Pikachu Charizard. Ha, are you kidding me, Xiaozhi? Even now you want to touch Porcelain Red. Just go to sleep. By the way, according to this theory, I should also have special abilities. Breeder. Gary secretly wondered if he should go to Qihong for advice. How can the ability of this breeder be stimulated? Stupid Mao, you are as strong as I said you are now. We are only half as good now. Maybe you are not as strong as me. What are you talking about? You, AB asterisk 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 D of 10,000 years, still want to compete with me. Dream on. You'd better pray that you don't meet me too soon after the top 16. Otherwise, you will lose ugly. The two of them started to have a big fight. Gary, who is usually very calm and shrewd, can't help but argue with the child normal when he meets Xiaozhi. Is this how gay friends get along? Okay, you two, stop arguing. Xiaozhi's story is not over yet. Watch and learn. Delia takes action. Under Delia's strong suppression, the two stopped fighting. As Delia said, after becoming the Alliance champion, Red's story is not over yet. Isn't becoming the champion in half a year the whole story of the Red legend? The Pokedex has just taken shape, so the target is only Pokemon from the Kanto region. Awesome Pikachu. After defeating Zapdos, will you be praised as the god of thunder in the future? In the Thunder and Lightning duel, Pikachu successfully won. At this time, Waihong said a famous saying. This is how Pokedex development started. 149 in total. Round-faced Pikachu is also a vain electric mouse. The red Pikachu also looked extremely excited, not only because he defeated a thunder god, but after Kai Hong conquered 146 Pokemon. Open black lens bracket Kanto Elite 4. No, close black lens bracket. And because he imagined that a statue made in his likeness would be admired by the world in the future. Pikachu. Targeting the last 3 Pokemon. Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. Isn't it true that a Pokemon as strong and cute as Pikachu should be your faith? After becoming the champion, Red began to work on helping Professor Oak use the Pokedex. However, in the following images, everyone understood what a legend is. Damalanchi. Actually, I think it makes sense. If I replace the statue of Zapdos with Pikachu, do you have any objection? Close black lens bracket. Against Zapdos, Red used his Pikachu Thunder to fight Thunder. Chapter 106. Typhlosion's unique skill with a mythical beast. But that's all. Advertisement. Before Qihong and Xiaozhi appeared, the Pikachu clan was known as the yellow-skinned mice on the streets. That's true everywhere. However, these two people developed the electric mice in their hands to the extreme. In other words, the electric mouse between the two of them is special. Both Pikachu are able to fight against the champion. A terrifying Pokemon that resists the gods. The Pikachu clan probably never thought of this in their lifetime. They were able to replace Alliance Zapdos statue. After the decision was made, Alliance had already started designing the statue of Pikachu. As for the image, it is naturally designed according to the image of Xiaozhi Pikachu. That Pikachu with the hat is pretty cool. And the images continue. After Qihong caused trouble for Zapdos, he actually threw an Ultra Ball. In full view of everyone, Zapdos was put into the ball, and no struggle came out. Wow, the whole world was in an uproar. They actually witnessed humans conquering the gods with their own eyes. Although this god doesn't look very strong. But there is no denying that Zapdos is a god. It seems that Red still has 3 Pokemon left to conquer later. Those 3 are Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. Now that Red has conquered Zapdos, he won't be going to conquer Articuno and Moltres next, right? Under the shocked eyes of the audience, Red then went to the Seafoam Islands, where he found Articuno. And released Lapras to fight against it. At this point, the audience finally understood that Qihong really wanted to conquer the other 3 divine birds. And it's not just about conquering the 3 divine birds. Even use the corresponding attribute to defeat them. When fighting against the electric Zapdos, instead of using Marowak, Red uses Pikachu. Now against Articuno, Red didn't use his trump card Charizard either, but instead used Lapras. Is this to convince the mythical beast? What way to conquer Versailles? After a dusty battle, Red successfully defeated Articuno, one-on-one and subdued him. When it came to the last Moltres, Red felt more relaxed. Because the Pokemon he sent was his own trump card Pokemon, Charizard. Whether it's the speed of flying or the temperature and strength of the flame. Charizard is all over Moltres. The red Charizard can completely suppress the legendary Pokemon. In the end, Moltres was successfully conquered by Crimson. At this point, all 3 divine birds have been subdued by Qihong. I believe that whether it is in that world or this world, it will cause an uproar. Many people have become numb. The legendary Pokemon has been defeated more than once during this period. This time, he was conquered even more. How do you feel? The mythical beast seems to be becoming less and less valuable. Moreover, Kai Hong should be regarded as fighting against the gods with his mortal body, right? In addition, this large-scale inventory is all red. I don't know what reward Kai Hong will get. Yulongdu. The Articuno that Kai Hong fought against was much stronger than the Articuno that Xiaozhi fought against back then. Close black lens bracket. Lorelei. Indeed, I speculate that it should be the level of the main force of the normal champion. That is, a real level 2 god. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. So, the red Charizard and Pikachu should have reached the level of second level gods, right? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. It's almost the same. What an abnormal improvement. My Gardevoir has been extremely difficult to improve after reaching the champion level. How come the red Pokemon is still improving so fast? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. I have conquered 3 legendary Pokemon. This is indeed worthy of the title of legend, but why does this image not end yet? Close black lens bracket. At Cynthia's reminder, everyone suddenly woke up from the discussion. Yes, why hasn't this image ended yet? The 3 divine birds have been conquered. Is there anything else that can be played later? Are we going to continue broadcasting Shihong Kai Wushwang in other regions? Defeat all the champion elites along the way. The subsequent story of becoming the reigning king. The image turns. After Red conquered Moltres, she has completed the collection of Kanto Pokedex. So he excitedly went to the laboratory where Professor Oak was located, wanting to report the good news to him. However, when he arrived at the laboratory, he found that the laboratory was empty. At this time, the female assistant next to Professor Oak came over and told Shihong a piece of news. Shihong's expression suddenly changed and she ran out. The scene turned, and Shihong came to a door, then opened the door and shouted. Advertisement. Qinglu, are you okay? In the room, Professor Oak looked at Qinglu with a slightly worried expression. Qinglu's whole body was covered with bandages, and one of his arms even seemed to be broken. The faces of the audience also changed. What happened? How did Qinglu become like this? It's so noisy. I feel like there's an echo in my head. Qinglu slowly sat up and leaned on the bed. Judging from the sound, he shouldn't be as seriously injured as it seems. Don't worry, Qinglu just suffered some skin trauma. He will recover soon after taking a good rest. Red walked in front of Qinglu. Seeing Qinglu's whole body wrapped in bandages, with one hand hanging in the air. Do you call this injury a traumatic injury? What happened, Qinglu? Qinglu slowly lay down and began to recall what happened before. After losing to you, I was still collecting Pokedex. One day, I heard that there was a Pokemon I had never seen before in the Cerulean Cave, and it was far more powerful than the normal Pokemon. So I want to conquer it. In addition to conquering the Pokedex, I also think that if I can conquer that Pokemon, I might be able to defeat you, Red. As he said this, Lou laughed at himself. As a result, after a fierce battle with that Pokemon, 5 of my Pokemon lost their ability to fight. And Blastoise was directly knocked away by him and fell on me, so he became like this. It's a blessing that that Pokemon didn't kill me. You Longdu. Let me go and kill 6 green Pokemon. What level of Pokemon are these? Diantha. The strength of green and red is about the same. Even if there is a gap, the gap will not be caused by nature. Cynthia. All of Crimson's Pokemon are basically at the level of second-level gods, and 2 have even reached the level of second-level gods. Daddy. In other words, defeating the green Pokemon is a level 1 god. Professor Oak. Cerulean Cave. We have never heard of any weird Pokemon in Cerulean Cave here. Misty. I grew up in Cerulean City, and I've never heard of any Pokemon that's so powerful that it's illegal in Cerulean City. Close black lens bracket. Professor Kukui. It is a parallel world after all, and it is normal to have some differences. Let's see what Pokemon Qinglu is talking about. Close black lens bracket. From the inferences of the champions. Defeat the green Pokemon, and your strength must be at the level of a god. But which level 1 god it is unknown. After all, existences like first-level gods are an unsolved mystery all over the world. It's not surprising that they appear anywhere. In the image, Kai Hong murmured in disbelief. Blastoise was blown away. There was too much information in Qinglu's words. Not long ago, Qinglu just had a 6-on-6 battle with him in the Hall of Champions. Therefore, he knows Qinglu's strength very well. Although he defeated Qinglu, he was only slightly better. However, the Cerulean Cave Pokemon was able to defeat 6 green Pokemon 1 against 6. What kind of monster is this? Is this really a Pokemon? What kind of Pokemon is it? Who knows? Anyway, it's a Pokemon I've never seen before. Professor Oak thought for a while and suddenly said. What about the Pokemon Pokedex? If you see that Pokemon, you should record it in the Pokedex. Qinglu used his other hand that could still move and took out a tattered Pokemon Pokedex. What a pity, the Jar Garden Pokedex was also crushed by Blastoise. It can be seen that you must have endured a lot. So, how much does your Blastoise weigh? Then take a look, do I have that Pokemon here? Saying that, Kai Hong took out his Pokemon Pokedex. Professor Oak was stunned for a moment when he saw Kai Hong's movements, and then said ecstatically. Red, have you finished the Kanto Pokedex? Yes, Professor. I came here this time to bring you this news, but the result. As a result, we encountered Qinglu. Ha ha ha. Okay, good job. Kanto's Pokedex is now complete. The Pokedex system was created to facilitate rookie trainer. There are 149 Pokemon planned in it. It was put in by knowledgeable people like Professor Oak who already knew the species. Every time you capture a Pokemon, you can fill in the data. After completing 149, subsequent Pokedex can directly copy these information. In other words, when rookie trainer meets a Pokemon you have never met before, you can use this information to understand it. The completion of Kanto Pokedex, although only a small step towards success. But it's a big step forward for the Pokedex system. It's also a big step forward for Professor Oak's dream. In this short-lived joy, Professor Oak almost forgot, his grandson was still lying on the bed. TCH, if my Pokedex hadn't been crushed, I would have conquered it until the 149th. World viewers were stunned. What Qinglu means is, he has tamed 148 Pokemon. In other words, he also has at least 2 divine birds on his hands. Guigi, are the 3 divine birds so worthless? Can you just accept it? Advertisement. It's outrageous. I've never seen a divine bird other than Moltres in my life. I caught at least 5 of them. I suggest Alliance change the statues of the 3 divine birds overnight. I think Charizard, Pikachu, and Lapras can represent the new generation of fire, electricity, and ice divine beast cards. At this time, everyone in the world was chatting enthusiastically in a newly established forum. Since Tiandao Inventory doesn't launch Barrage for them, they will artificially create a barrage. After several days, this Tiandao Inventory forum was finally established. Many people in the world who don't have a discussion partner can chat in this forum. Qinglu's words are the original words of his origin, so it is correct to say that he conquered at least 2 sacred birds. In the video, Professor Oak was stunned for a moment when he heard Qinglu's words. Then I suddenly remembered that his grandson seemed to be still lying in the hospital bed. Green, what move did that Pokemon use? Confusion. Barrier. In addition, all my moves have no effect on it. It is an extremely powerful Pokemon. Even the legendary Pokemon, Moltres and Articuno, are not even 1/10 of what they are. Hearing this, Professor Oak began to search for the Pokedex in his hand. Confusion and barrier. In other words, are they super-type Pokemon? Do you see any of them here? Qinglu glanced at all the super-type Pokemon, and then shook his head. Not on this Pokedex. Red, did you really complete the Pokemon Pokedex? That's strange. Why not? Professor Oak rubbed his chin and spoke slowly. The Pokedex information I gave you is only the Pokedex of the Kanto region. It is not ruled out that Pokemon from other regions may come to Kanto. Other region. *2. The 2 fledgling teenagers still don't know the existence of other regions. After all, the time they traveled was only half a year. However, within half a year, they have dominated Kanto and become the top existence in Kanto. The audience can't imagine that if these 2 guys go to other regions, what will happen to the Elite Four and champions of other regions? What kind of nightmare would it cause? I will tell you about other regions later. Now let's go back to the Pokemon Qinglu was talking about. Professor Oak temporarily ignored matters related to other regions. Now, the focus of the matter is still on the Pokemon that injured Qinglu. Qinglu's current strength, let alone the Kanto region, even if you look at the entire Pokemon world, there are not many people who can rival him, and it is said that he was beaten like this. There is only one Pokemon I can think of, and that is, high-level legendary Pokemon. Advanced Legend. *2. This is another term that the 2 of them have never heard before. The so-called high-level legendary Pokemon are also called first-level mythical beasts. The 3 holy birds you have conquered are called legendary Pokemon, which are also second-level mythical beasts. The existence of the first-level divine beast is more than 10 times stronger than the normal second-level divine beast. So the guy who defeated Qinglu is probably a first-level divine beast. The 2 of them were shocked for a moment. I thought that after becoming Alliance champions, they would have no rival other than each other. Unexpectedly, there is such a thing in the world. And there are elites and champions from other regions. Elite champions from other regions. You 2 don't come over. There are still many unsolved mysteries in the world. Shihong's heart, which had been relaxed after collecting all the Pokedex, became hot again. Li Hao, in this world, there are many more places waiting for him to challenge. Shihong on the top of MT. Silver looked at her previous self in the image and couldn't help but sigh. At the beginning, I didn't know about other regions, but I thought that the world is so big, there will always be strong people. As a result, I looked around the entire Pokemon world, and didn't see many that could be beaten. Finally, I came back to MT. Silver to practice spiritual practice and became an autistic person. Some time ago, someone named Akin came over and brought a group of mythical beasts with him. After his Charizard Mage evolves, he presses and hits the opponent. Just having a mythical beast without the corresponding strength of a trainer is really meaningless. Oh, no, he was quite flexible when he commanded the Typhlosion, a bit like a champion. Professor Oak solemnly asked Kai Hong. Leave it to me, Professor Oak. There are only 151 Pokemon in total. After all, it is what you circle in the first place, so there will always be some small bugs no matter what. If you encounter danger, you can withdraw at any time. Image 1. So he should be called Typhlosion's unique skill brother. So there are a lot of Pokedex loopholes in the plot. Counting Mew. P's. Originally I planned to write this chapter where Qihong and Mewtwo start a fight. The next chapter is Red vs. Mewtwo. Charizard's road to becoming a god. Facing Professor Oak's instructions, Shihong pressed the brim of her hat and said confidently. It turns out, there are more flaws in the original animation than I thought. The origin is based on the original Fire Red and Leaf Green game. We don't know that guy's temper yet. If he's a bad-tempered guy, then it's no less than a time bomb for Cerulean City. So, I can only ask you, Kai Hong. Quote. So please forgive me for these bugs. Although it may be a bit dangerous, but could you please go to the Cerulean Cave and take a look at it for me? Shihong. In order to close those loopholes, I added a lot of my own settings. Chapter 107. Battle against the High Legend, Mewtwo. People all over the world are not optimistic about it. Advertisement. Yu Longdu. Kai Hong, does he want to find that legendary god? He shouldn't be able to win, right? Close black lens bracket. Dandy. I guess, it's difficult. After all, the reason why Xiaozhi's Charizard was able to compete with Reshiram before was because Reshiram didn't exert his full power at all, and the other was because Reshiram was controlled without reason. It's worth saying. Alder. Akataro's Charizard feels about the same as Chitaro's Charizard's strength when he last appeared. If there are really high-level legends in the Cerulean Cave, it may be more dangerous than good. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. After all, Xinglu was beaten into such a virtuous state. But, being suppressed like this by Blastoise, why do I want to laugh a little bit, ha 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 ha. Day. Sorry, I want to laugh too, ha ha ha. If Xinglu was beaten like that by others during normal combat. I'm afraid the elite champions can't laugh no matter what they do now. But, because I wasn't paying attention during the battle, I was crushed by my own Blastoise. As a result, it turned into this kind of behavior. Isn't it too joyful? Professor Oak. There should be no problem with Red. After all, his purpose this time is just to explore, not to conquer the Pokémon. Therefore, as long as Red escapes, the Pokémon may not be able to do anything to Red. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Professor Oak is right, Red may not be able to fight against the High Legends now, but if he just wants to leave, the High Legends can't fight against Hong. This is the true strength of the top trainer among humans. Even if the mythical beast at the top of the world can defeat him, it is impossible to keep him. Theoretically speaking, if Xinglu wanted to leave before, the mythical beast wouldn't be able to keep him. It's just that I'm greedy. In the discussion, everyone agreed that, even if he is as strong as Kai Hong, he can only run away in front of the world's top mythical beasts and advanced legends. The best thing to do now is to get some information. If you have sufficient information and join forces with Xinglu, maybe there is still a chance of winning. Image 1. After Qihong responded to Professor Oak's request, Xinglu suddenly sat up excitedly. Because of his large movements, his wounds were even involved, making his face look painful. However, he didn't care about his wounds and just shouted excitedly to Qihong. Don't go over there, Qihong. What's wrong? That guy is too strong. Even I can't resist, and neither can you. Do you want to end up injured like me? He loves him so much. Cross out. Xinglu didn't want Qihong to end up like him, so he tried to dissuade Qihong. Don't worry, I won't be like you. After all, I am the one who defeated you. With that said, Qihong pressed the brim of her hat and slowly walked out of the room, the lingering sound still lingering in the room. Besides, I'm the current Alliance champion. If I don't even go, then who else will? Qihong's words got the audience talking. Brother Qihong is called a legend for a reason. Yes, not only because of his combat power, but also because he has an upright, kind and responsible heart. I think this should be the last thing Tiandao Inventory wants us to see. When faced with an enemy she couldn't fight against, Qihong still stood up to protect Cerulean City. Sublimate the meaning of legend. Blind monk, you discovered Hua Dian. According to what you said, I seem to think that the word legend has become sacred. Well, facing an enemy that cannot be defeated at all, Brother Hong is also desperate, right? Everyone admires Kai Hong's upright and kind heart. At the same time, I felt a little sorry for it. He has obviously become the Alliance champion, but now a stronger enemy appears. It is obviously impossible for Crimson Red to beat the High Legend. In other words, when the legend comes to an end, Qihong is likely to be defeated. Maybe it's not so perfect to be called a legend. Image 1. After coming out, Qihong did not rush to the Cerulean Cave, but hung up the fish in front of her house. Professor Oak also asked him to prepare. He was also thinking about what Xinglu said just now, as if he had seen it somewhere. He is too powerful, cannot be defeated, right? That's right there. Qihong remembered that when he was at the Pokemon Mansion, he had seen a diary about a new type of Pokemon. So he quickly ran to Professor Oak's laboratory to find Professor Oak. And recounted the piece of diary he saw. In Guyana, South America, we discovered a new species of Pokemon. Quote. We obtained the eyelashes of a new species of Pokemon and investigated the genes contained within them. Because its genes are all-encompassing, like Mew Normal, we named the new Pokemon Mew. Dream. People in this Pokemon world are quite familiar with this name. Because Mew has a real legend in this world. Unexpectedly, a new species was discovered in the Red World. Shihong continued. It took 2 months. We used Mew's eyelashes to create Mew's child, and we named it Mewtwo. The Mewtwo we created is too powerful. We can't stop him at all. He ran away like a crazy monster. On the clear cliff, Mewtwo was startled when he heard this. So, does he also exist in that world? He is just as powerful in another world, and even the former Alliance champion is not his rival. But, for some reason, he felt that this young man named Shihong seems like he can be defeated by normal. Advertisement. This can be regarded as the intuition of a mythical beast. Kai Hong, Xiaozhi. If I am really defeated and subdued by Kai Hong, then Xiaozhi, who is in the same body as Kai Hong, should also become my trainer. Mewtwo is as intelligent and witty as a demon. Cricket learned human language and writing casually. So he can completely understand the information on the barrage. Therefore, he not only understood what the champions said about peers, but also understood them. If it were him before the counterattack, I guess after seeing this image, he will go directly to Xiaozhi and defeat him instantly. He will never be controlled by anyone. 2. After the counterattack, his personality changed a lot. And Xiaozhi's behavior was also deeply imprinted in his mind. The impression was profound, comparable to the one he met when he was just born. Stephanie named Xiao Ai. After the Heavens inventory came, Xiaozhi's various deeds were also seen by him. So, regarding Xiaozhi becoming his trainer, Mewtwo feels that he doesn't seem so repulsive. Team Rocket headquarters. When Giovanni heard Mew, he already had some premonitions in his heart. After hearing Mewtwo's name, he couldn't help but clenched his fists. In that world, there actually is Mewtwo. Was it also created by Team Rocket? Boss. Giovanni waved his hand to stop his subordinate from speaking. Now, he just wants to finish reading this review quietly. Image 1. After Shihong finished describing the contents of the diary, she said somewhat speculatively. Professor Oak, do you think the Pokemon in Cerulean Cave is called Mewtwo? I see. That diary is probably written by Dr. Fuji. Fuji. Professor. Why does it feel like I've heard it somewhere? By the way, it's Mr. Fuji from Lavender Town. But there shouldn't be any connection between the two people, right? Drive Fuji is the most powerful scholar in the field of Pokemon research. But since the discovery of new types of Pokemon, he has been regarded as a heretic. Heresy. Why? Because he wants to make artificial Pokemon. Red looked shocked. Artificial Pokemon. By the way, as mentioned in the previous diary, he used Mew's eyelashes to create Mewtwo. In other words, Mewtwo is an artificial Pokemon. Dr. Fuji has fulfilled his imagination. However, Mewtwo's subsequent rampage also destroyed Dr. Fuji's imagination. The artificial Pokemon did not obey control at all, and its strength was far beyond his imagination. The Pokemon that defeated Green was probably Mewtwo, right? I don't know yet, but just be more careful, Shihong. Besides, I'll give this back to you. Professor Oak returned a wooden box to Kai Hong. Everyone recognizes it, that is the box Mr. Fuji gave to Red. It contains Charizard's Mega Evolution Stone and Key Stone. Previously, Shihong gave them to Professor Oak because she didn't understand the function of these two things. Let Professor Oak do the research. Now that Professor Oak has returned it to him, does this mean that Professor Oak has researched something? Of the two stones, the larger one has a strong energy reaction with Charizard. As for the other piece, except for the relatively majestic vitality, I can't find anything. Anyway, you give Charizard the big stone to carry, and the small one, you can carry it yourself for the time being. Shihong nodded in understanding. These two stones were given to him by Mr. Fuji. According to Mr. Fuji's original words, as long as you take them with you and have a strong bond with the Pokemon, sooner or later you will understand the role of these two things. In short, I can only take it with me first. Red, your Pokemon has recovered. Are you sure you want to take these 6 Pokemon with you? Professor Oak's assistant came to Red and pushed out the same 6 Pokeballs in the box. Well, they are my strongest lineup at the moment. Let's try and see if we can defeat that guy. If not, I will retreat. Red put 6 Pokeballs on his belt. Say goodbye to Professor Oak and set off. Be safe and sound, Shihong. Shihong rode his wind speed bicycle and quickly arrived at Cerulean City from his own town. After finding the Cerulean Cave, Red released Lapras and took him inside. The inside of Cerulean Cave is a little dark, but the blue starlight from nowhere makes people barely able to see clearly what is inside the cave. There are stalactites everywhere in the cave. The inner wall is extremely steep, and there is almost no sound inside. Have all the Pokemon here been kicked out? Normally, there are some Pokemon living in the Cerulean Cave. Now Kai Hong has sailed hundreds of meters, but not a single one has been seen. Not long after, Hong Hong, who was driving Lapras, saw the other side. Advertisement. On the shore, a strange-looking Pokemon was sitting on the ground with its eyes closed. It wasn't until Kai Hong walked in that he could clearly see what the Pokemon looked like. This is a humanoid cat-like Pokemon. Its entire body is almost silver white, with only its belly and tail being purple. The fingers are in the shape of 3 balls. As this, Mewtwo. As if sensing someone's arrival, Mewtwo suddenly opened his eyes. The purple eyes are full of violent colors. Looking at Mewtwo's appearance, it seems that he is not calm right now. Yulongdu. What Pokemon is this? Why haven't I seen it before? Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. I have never seen it in the history of mythology. Is this really a first-level god? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Okay, Arnold. The first-level gods should all be relatively huge, right? Close black lens bracket. Normal high-level legends are 2 to 3 people tall, and some are huge. Even up to tens of meters high. And this Pokemon called Mewtwo. I don't even know if it's 1.7 meters tall. Mewtwo. Why does it feel a bit familiar? Xiaozhi murmured to himself. He always felt like he had seen this Pokemon before somewhere. But he couldn't remember it at all. It shouldn't be. As long as it's related to Pokemon, his memory is very good. This uniquely shaped Pokemon is impossible to miss once you see it once. But if you haven't seen it before, what's going on with this familiar feeling? Xiaogang and Misty on the side seem to feel the same way. 610. Roar. Facing Crimson, who stepped ashore, Mewtwo let out a loud roar as a warning. However, the violent look in his eyes has become more and more serious. It seems he will lose control of himself soon. Are you Mewtwo? You look like you're in pain? Roar. Mewtwo didn't respond to Red, but let out a roar. It seems I have to let you calm down first, then it's you, Lapras. Kai Hong directly asked Lapras, who brought him to take the lead in fighting. Facing Red's declaration of war, Mewtwo finally lost his mind completely. Start rioting like crazy, under the shocked eyes of the audience. Lapras was defeated by the opponent in just 2 moves. One move, Psycho Cut, one move, Psychic, almost killed Lapras instantly. The red Lapras is the existence of 6 Pokemon linked to Lance. Now he was defeated so easily by the opponent. Is this the power of high legends that the champions call it? Water Fleet, Lava Fleet. After the leaders of both sides saw Mewtwo's power, invariably, he thought of the mythical beast he believed in. Kyogre, Groudon. The 2 of them are mythical beasts that existed in super ancient times, and they are also beings known as high-level legends. If we gain their power, it will be no problem to rule the world and turn the whole world into ocean, land. Rockets. Giovanni looked at Mewtwo's violent appearance and terrifying power. But the original covet is no longer in my heart. When I first saw Pikachu defeating the Ice God Pillar, Giovanni has already started smelling salts coming over. Even ordinary Pokemon can fight against mythical beasts. So can his carefully crafted breeder's Beedrill. They all thought of the high-level legendary beasts they had been chasing. Team Rainbow Rockets.jpg. Everyone thinks so. What will happen if everyone catches the mythical beast? Although these 3 legendary Pokemon are weaker than Pikachu and Charizard, everyone's heart is spinning. Otherwise, it will be difficult for Lapras to win. Naturally, he still wants to capture Mewtwo if he has the chance, but Giovanni's thoughts on Mewtwo are completely different. That's right, Red brought the mythical beasts to find Mewtwo this time. And there were 3 of them. If you can catch him, ruling the world will be an option. It seems that it was not unreasonable for Qinglu to be beaten so badly. After seeing the power of high legends, the world's major evil organizations. When Lapras was able to beat Articuno head-on, it was also because of him as the trainer. But they are all stronger than Lapras. Lapras was defeated in an instant, and Shihong looked very surprised. The mythical beast is nothing more than a prop in the image, so he will no longer rely on and believe in the power of mythical beasts. Red takes back Lapras and releases his next Pokemon, Zapdos. Chapter 108. Only by thinking of others and fighting for others can you be qualified to be called Alliance Champion. Advertisement. In order to defeat Mewtwo, Kai Hong spent all his money this time. Zapdos's combat power has improved a lot after receiving Red's command. However, after several rounds, Zapdos was still defeated. This time it more or less caused some damage to Mewtwo. Qinglu said at the beginning that his skills could hardly cause damage to Mewtwo. It's because Mewtwo uses Confusion Barrier that it blocks almost all damage. And Zapdos' powerful firepower barely penetrated Mewtwo's barrier. It caused damage to it. In other words, Mewtwo is not invincible. Therefore, the failure of Zapdos did not dampen Hong's self-confidence. Instead, Shihong saw hope of winning. In the ensuing battle, Red unleashes Moltres and Articuno. However, the 2 divine birds only caused some weak damage. He was beaten so hard that he lost his ability to fight. At this point, all 3 legendary Pokemon have lost their combat power. Only the last 2 Pokemon are left in Red's hand. Send it, Brother Shihong. There are only 2 left, how can we fight? Although the remaining 2 Pokemon, one Charizard and one Pikachu, are Brother Crimson's strongest Pokemon, but the opponent is a high-level legendary Pokemon, Mewtwo. Crimson, it is almost impossible to win. I think if Pikachu loses again, Brother Shihong should quickly let Charizard take him away. Yes, If all Pokemon lose their fighting power, how will Brother Chi-Hong go? Audiences around the world are already beginning to consider a retreat for Kai-Hong. Red's remaining 2 Pokemon are indeed his strongest Pokemon. The fighting prowess of Charizard and Pikachu is obvious to everyone. But, no matter how strong he is still far behind compared to the first-level gods. If Charizard falls here, they don't know who can save Zihong. Should we wait until the green color is restored before delivering food? Yu Longdu. Kai-Hong will definitely lose this time, but I believe Kai-Hong will fight until the last moment before letting Charizard take him away. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. I'm betting. Let's see which one is more powerful, Flying Champion Lance's poisonous milk, or the first-level god's combat power. Close black lens bracket. Yu Longdu. I can't be more than a first-level god, right? From the beginning of struggle, rage, and resistance, Lance has now assumed that he has the power of heavy breasts. Dandy. Have you forgotten? Crimson has a Mega Evolution Stone. If Charizard Mega evolves, maybe, there is still a chance. Diantha. I think it's very difficult. If you don't understand Mega Evolution at all, it's extremely difficult to start Mega Evolution. It's better to study the function of the stone and come back to Mewtwo retaliate later. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. But, the bond between Red and Charizard, maybe it will really create miracles. Close black lens bracket. Alder. You'll find out if you read on. Red is going to release Pikachu. Close black lens bracket. Image 1. Red releases his 5th Pokemon. Pikachu. With a red round face, Pikachu has gone far beyond the limitations of race. It has reached a height that is impossible for the Pikachu clan to reach. When it comes to Pikachu that can rival Red Pikachu, everyone can only think of one person. That's Xiaozhi. But unlike Xiaozhi, although the Red Pikachu is powerful. But it's only his second trump card. The strongest trump card is naturally Charizard. For Xiaozhi, Pikachu is his first and strongest trump card Pokemon. Maybe this is the slight difference between the two. Pikachu. Thunderbolt. Pikachu. The golden spark resounded through the cave and shone on everyone's faces. Spark gallops away like a thunder snake. Mewtwo subconsciously put his hands in front of him, and the huge purple energy was concentrated on his hands. Boom. A huge explosion sounded, and black smoke covered Mewtwo. From the beginning of the battle until now, this is the only time Mewtwo has looked defensive. Pikachu's strength is evident. After the smoke slowly dissipated, Mewtwo appeared in front of Red with almost no injuries. After all, the terrifying Thunderbolt was unable to pass through the super barrier that Mewtwo actively activated. However, Chi-Hong felt keenly that the rage in Mewtwo's eyes seemed to have faded away. Instead, there was a slightly shocked look. Pikachu's Thunderbolt move almost hit Mewtwo with smelling salts. This allowed Kai-Hong to see the dawn of victory. If it's Pikachu and Charizard, maybe it can be done. Pikachu. Quick attack. Pick up. Pikachu's limbs are on the ground, spinning around Mewtwo like lightning. For a moment, the field seemed to be filled with those saffron-colored shadows. Mewtwo kept turning his head, unable to catch Pikachu. Now, Thunder. Pick up. The moment Chi-Hong gave the order, Pikachu appeared behind Mewtwo, and the terrifying thunder and lightning made the air begin to tremble. A deafening sound sounded. Golden thunderbolts as thick as a bucket fell from the sky, cutting through the void like a sharp sword. Mewtwo only had time to move part of the confusion barrier upward. Boom. There was an explosion even bigger than before. This terrifying force has already caused the entire cave to begin to collapse. This is already considered a battle between gods. All go. All the teachers in that world are so powerful. We can win. Maybe we can really win. Teacher Dappy's speed is invincible. Go, go, go. Watching Pikachu briefly suppress Mewtwo. Many viewers were excited. Is Pikachu going to add another achievement? Advertisement. If you kill a god this time, you will kill a first-level god. The smoke slowly dissipated, and Mewtwo's body was now covered with dense scars. Pikachu's thunder move. Hit it hard. However, before Chi-Hong could be happy, Mewtwo raised his head and looked directly at him with cold eyes. Mewtwo has released its berserk. Human. Want to control me again. Dreaming. A strange voice sounded in the red heart. This is Mewtwo's telepathy. Being able to communicate with humans using telepathy, does Mewtwo's IQ reach this level? Mewtwo. I don't mean any harm. Chi-Hong saw that Mewtwo had regained consciousness and was about to communicate with him. But Mewtwo had no intention of communicating with him. Blue light lit up in his purple eyes. He raised his palm, which was made up of 3 balls, and aimed directly at Pikachu. Snort. The biggest difference between Mewtwo now and before is that he has regained his sanity. Even if Thunder takes a hard hit, he is still the same, first-level god. Terrifying confusion bursts out from its hands. Purple confusion is like ripples. Normal is approaching Pikachu quickly. When Chi-Hong saw this, she had no time to reconcile and explain to Mewtwo, and immediately gave the order. Pikachu, dodge the light. However, Pikachu's invincible speed was hampered here. Before Pikachu could move his limbs, purple energy ripples had already covered his body. He was firmly under control. Psychic. Pikachu, use the power of Thunderbolt to break free. Kai Hong, who is familiar with various skills, can see the skills used by Mewtwo at a glance. I immediately thought of a countermeasure. Pikachu. Golden spark surges out of Pikachu's body. It collided with the purple light wrapped around it. Mewtwo's hands trembled slightly, and a surprised look appeared in his eyes. How could this little mouse be so powerful? Its power is no worse than that of the previous dog and turtle. But, it's still far behind compared to him. Snort. Mewtwo's confusion has grown a bit bigger again. The golden spark that burst out from Pikachu was slowly tightened. His red face changed drastically. This is no longer a matter of tactics or not. The opponent is completely crushed by strength. This Pokemon named Mewtwo is much stronger than Pikachu. Boom. The golden spark was suppressed back. And due to the compression of energy, it exploded directly on the spot. Pikachu ate the thunderbolt he fired. Mewtwo did not let go of his confusion, but threw Pikachu into the sky, who had already received a lot of damage. Then, countless purple confusion condensed into the substance normal around it. Finally it turned into a round purple ball. There seems to be a power that destroys everything on the purple ball. This attack is completely different from the previous attack. Drink. Mewtwo pops the purple ball in his hand. The purple energy ball cuts through the void, and the air seems to solidify because of this power. With the energy ball he shot, the entire Cerulean cave, no, maybe the entire Cerulean city was trembling. What kind of energy is this? If Pikachu is hit by this energy, I'm afraid he won't be able to survive a billion lives. Crisis 4. Qihong used the most shameless trick. Come back Pikachu. The red light of the Pokeball pops up faster than the purple energy ball. It was a shame to take Pikachu back. However, the moment Pikachu was withdrawn, the attack had already hit Pikachu. Qihong could feel that Pikachu's contest condition was exhausted in an instant. I'm afraid I can no longer continue fighting. And the remaining power of the terrorist attack hit the Cerulean cave. The entire Cerulean cave trembled like crazy. Countless rock throws are falling crazily. The water on the shore is also flowing crazily. Earthquake, mountains shake, landslides and tsunamis. Perhaps these words can only be used to describe it. Just when countless rock throws were about to fall on Qihong, the last Pokeball on Qihong's waist bounced away. The blazing fire dragon appears on the field, and used his broad wings to firmly protect the red inside. Dong dong dong. All the stones have hit Charizard, but for Charizard today, an attack of this magnitude is not worth mentioning. Roar. After the rock throw ended, Charizard looked up to the sky and screamed. Then he looked at Mewtwo. Even though he is in the Pokeball, he also knows who is the culprit behind this phenomenon. If he hadn't come out, I'm afraid his trainer would have been drinking in this rock throw. This guy is really unforgivable. Forgive. Advertisement. Charizard is out. What's the use of coming out now? Pikachu has been crushed. Even if Charizard is powerful, he's just a little bit more powerful and can't win. Oh, that's right. It would be great if there was a group fight at the beginning. Haha, others are righteous trainers who are gang banged by society. What do you mean upstairs? Brother Qihong's justice has hindered you. You're so weird. If you haven't learned how to speak, go back and read more. Quote. The forum seems to be getting noisy. Many people can't stand how Tailwind achieved the championship in such a short period of time. Everyone jumped out at this time. Apart from the time with Giovanni, this was the first time for Qihong to suffer from such a problem. The black men will definitely take the opportunity to start taunting. As for rival being a first-level god, Qihong even caused a lot of harm to a first-level god. Will they care? Anyway, Qihong just lost. He just wants to run away. Black as hard as you can. You Longdu. We have to go, Qihong. If we continue to fight like this, the Cerulean cave will collapse. By then, Qihong's fate will probably be worse than Qinglu's. Close black lens bracket. Dandy. It is indeed very dangerous now. I also think it is better to retreat. Open black lens bracket Xiaozhi. Come on, brother Qihong. Defeat him. Close black lens bracket. Alder. Why did Chitaro say that? If Kai Hong continues to fight, he may not be able to protect himself. Close black lens bracket. Xiaozhi. But that Pokemon has such terrifying power, and will enter the rampage contest condition at any time. If it is not subdued, it will be taken for treatment, whether it is it or Cerulean. The lives of everyone in the city will be in danger. Everyone in the world. When everyone is thinking about red comfort. Xiaozhi was thinking about the safety of that mysterious Pokemon and everyone in Cerulean City. Is this Xiaozhi? What kind of person is he? Qihong. That's right, Xiaozhi. I'll come find you in a while. I think there should be a lot of things to communicate between us. Close black lens bracket. Qihong has spoken. He agreed with Xiaozhi's approach. In other words, the red in the image will not escape. But, if you don't run away, what else can you do to deal with that terrifying mysterious first-level god? In the image, Charizard and Mewtwo stared at each other. Mewtwo's eyes seemed to be gradually becoming violent again. Kai Hong keenly discovered that Mewtwo seemed to be unable to control his power well. That terrifying psychic will affect Mewtwo's thinking and change his temperament drastically. So Chi-Hong couldn't help but said, Mewtwo, I know you are a Pokemon created by Mew, but... Clear Cliff. Mewtwo looked a little speechless. This guy has good intentions, but he can't speak. If he guessed correctly, at that time he should care about this thing the most. Shut up. I am the genuine product of Zhao Lihao. Crimson Red stepped on the thunder directly and accurately. He came to the most unacceptable point for Mewtwo. He has always been worried about the fact that he is a copy. Chi-Hong's words once again aroused his pain. The violent eyes appeared again. Mewtwo was engulfed in anger. At this time, Mewtwo will fight with instinct. A dazzling green light appears on Mewtwo. His body was damaged by thunder and the previous 3 divine birds. It is recovering at a speed visible to the naked eye. This is a super skill, recover. No, we can't let him recover. Charizard, Fire Blast, roar. Bright and scorching flames spit out from Charizard's mouth. The bright red fire light illuminates the entire cave. The huge, big, flame approaches Mewtwo quickly. The surrounding air seemed to be ignited by this terrifying flame. In response, Mewtwo crossed his arms and a green barrier appeared in front of him. This is not a confusion barrier, but a protect. At the same level, protect can basically defend against all moves. Red murmured, starting to think about how to break Mewtwo's turtle shell. Unless it's a super move or Z move. This airtight defense is really hard to describe. Fire Blast. A maximum of 2 thunder moves can cripple him. The problem is, Mewtwo can recover, confusion barrier and protect. His injuries have not fully recovered. The smoke slowly dissipated. This high-level legendary Pokemon is actually not as strong as imagined. Although Mewtwo was not harmed by Fire Blast, after making repeated decisions, you will be given a bonus to choose to turn on the weather. The dazzling sunlight rises from Charizard. A small sun of energy illuminates the dim cerulean cave. But his recover was also interrupted. As for the super power system, Charizard has no corresponding means, he can only attack by force. The ultimate fire trick after controlling the weather. Charizard, Sunny Day, judging from the damage caused by thunder just now. Chapter 109. Red Mega evolves. The strongest Charizard in history is born. Advertisement. Fire Blast is 50% more powerful than before. The already scorching flame burns even more vigorously. Head straight for Mewtwo. Facing such a terrifying attack, Mewtwo's instinct told him not to force it. Confusion surged. Mewtwo disappeared instantly. This is a super skill, teleport. How lazy. Are you so lazy in the super department? At the same level, the super power system is indeed a bit unsolvable. Can anyone with a super skill explain how Charizard can win? For the first time, everyone in the world clearly and intuitively saw the ruthlessness of the super power system. Recover, confusion barrier, protect, triple protection. Teleport hiding skills. Mental strength can be used to attack, defend and control. In addition, Mewtwo has that trick that turns confusion into reality. I don't know what the hell skill is. It's ridiculously powerful. It's estimated that one move can kill the trump card champion instantly. I don't even know how to fight this. Yu Longdu. Super power system. I rarely deal with it. Are you so bad at playing? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Okay, it looks like a bug, but in fact there are still many limitations. Close black lens bracket. Catalya. Yes, the super type Pokemon's moves look very strong. But they can't be used continuously. Lucian. After using super power skills once or twice, you need to use other skills to restore the psychic in the body. Otherwise, even if you can barely use it, the power and speed will be greatly reduced. Close black lens bracket. Sabrina. If there is a human psychic to assist, it will be different. With my assistance, my Alakazam can use teleport more than 10 times in a row. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Lucian. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Catalya. Close black lens bracket. What kind of devil is this person named Sabrina? By the way, I think I saw it before when I challenged the Saffron City gym in red. She said she was a psychic. Psychic support. 960. Psychic Pokemon can use teleport dozens of times. Isn't this too cheating? In fact, Catalya is also a psychic. It's just that she can't integrate with her psychic and Pokemon like Sabrina. After all, Sabrina is the woman who developed psychic into a flower. Can turn people into dolls. Is there any more outrageous psychic than this? As for Lucian, he expressed his full involvement not only in this topic. Although he is a superpower elite, he is not a psychic himself. Therefore, he does not understand this way of cheating normal at all. Dandy. So, what are Chi-Hong's chances of winning this battle? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Sabrina. 0 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Cynthia. So absolute. Close black lens bracket. Sabrina. The power of that super type beast is far greater than that of Alakazam and I combined. Psychic circulation gap or something. Unless the red Charizard uses stronger power to force Mewtwo to use more power, it is possible to create gaps in energy flow. Sabrina. Otherwise, all of Mewtwo's psychics are theoretically unlimited in use. Even Sabrina said so. Is everything really over for Qihong? Open black lens bracket crimson. Close black lens bracket. Here it comes. Classic. Audiences all over the world have discovered that Qihong never speaks in a long way every time she refutes. Just a rebuttal. As a rebuttal. Basically every time Qihong says this, it doesn't take long before she starts getting slapped in the face. Saffron City. Sabrina frowned as she looked at Qihong's words. Although you are Xiaozhi's peer, you are not Xiaozhi after all. If it were Xiaozhi, she would be more tolerant. After all, he was the man who brought her out of her psychological shadow. But Red, do you really think she has lost her temper? Taunt her with an ellipsis. If Qihong is beaten violently by Mewtwo later, Sabrina feels that she must reply to the opponent with 10 ellipses. With Qihong's answer, this battle seemed to have a little more suspense. In the image, after Mewtwo dodged Fire Blast, he used a backhand move called Psychic. The purple confusion turned into floating ripples and passed away. If Charizard is caught by this Psychic, the scene with Pikachu just now may happen again. Fly Charizard. Roar. Charizard unfolded the dual wing beat, and transformed into a ray of orange-red light, flying rapidly in the cave. However, the purple ripples are like gangrene attached to the bone and cannot be shaken off. Charizard. Flamethrower. Roar. Powerful blazing flames sprayed out. Burn all the ripples chasing after you. However, there was still some room for Pidgey to arrive and lock Charizard's wings directly. Roar. Mewtwo roared, and the purple light turned into substance. There were sharp blades one after another around it. Then, like a rain of swords, normal attacks Charizard. Advertisement. Fire Blast. Roar. Flames burning to the extreme burst out, offsetting most of the sharp blades. It's just the same as before, a few sharp blades have still not been eliminated. Even a deranged Mewtwo can launch such an attack. There is no way the flames under Sunny Day can be stronger than Psychic. Several sharp blades hit Charizard in the air. The sharp edge cut open blood marks on his body. The huge force knocked it away. Seeing this, Qihong's expression condensed, and he ran straight to Charizard's landing point. Open your hands to catch it. Boom. It was definitely impossible to catch it, but Qihong turned into a flesh pad to cushion the damage caused by Charizard's fall. Roar. Charizard stood up and turned around to ask how Qihong was doing. Red smiled and stroked Charizard's head. Don't worry, I'm fine. Yulongdu. Wait a minute, why are you okay? Close black lens bracket. Diantha. Qinglu is, he had no choice but to be hit by Blastoise. Red took the initiative to send it to the door as a meat pad, right? And the most outrageous thing is that it was hit 10 times and nothing happened. How much lighter is your Charizard than Blastoise? Steven. Green. The joys and sorrows between people are not the same, ha ha ha. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. I checked, the standard weight of Blastoise is 85 kilograms, while Charizard is 90 kilograms. Under normal circumstances, Charizard is heavier than Blastoise. Bruno. Good guy, he is indeed Xiaozhi's peer. Even the physique of Mega and Rookie is exactly the same, right? Lien Wu. As expected, I still don't get home for training. Kato. Why are there so many terrifying humans in the world? Kato is emo. She has a strong body that she worked hard to achieve. Why are other people born with it? Actually, Xiaozhi's exercise is no less than that of Kato, Bruno and the others. That's a Mega Rookie who has walked through 8 regions. Professor Oak's laboratory backyard. Gary's mouth twitched as he looked at the outrageous scene. Although Charizard is soft flesh and Blastoise is hard turtle shell. It's normal for people to get different injuries when they hit them. But, you are too outrageous. Charizard landed just now at a speed almost as fast as a meteor. A normal person would be crippled if he didn't die after being crushed like this. But Qihong still acted like a normal person. After all, he is Xiaozhi's peer. Just as perverted as Xiaozhi. Delia looked at Hong Hong with a worried expression. He saw Xiaozhi's shadow on Qihong's body. At this moment, it feels like Xiaozhi is fighting there. So she couldn't help but said to Xiaozhi. Xiaozhi, you must never do such dangerous things in the future, you know. Mom, you are the only son. I know, Mom, I will take care of myself. Xiaozhi Solacian said, his eyes focused on the image. Now is the time when the battle is heating up. Image 1. After seeing that Qihong was fine, Charizard looked at Mewtwo again with sharp eyes. By this time Mewtwo was already panting. A series of defense, control, attack, plus the increase of Sunny Day. Even the first level God Mewtwo is a bit overwhelmed. What's more, he is now in a violent contest condition. Use energy without restraint. So now Mewtwo. Psychic is almost exhausted. Remote attacks are easily dodged by the opponent using teleport. Charizard, use Dragon Claw. Roar. Sharp green energy claws appeared on Charizard's hands. The body shot out like an arrow from the string. Wherever his figure passed, a strong wind was set off. Charizard's speed seems to be faster. Is this the effect of the red fighting man talent? Mewtwo's violent expression has not changed at all. Facing Charizard from Sucker Punch, a green barrier appeared in front of Mewtwo. Dragon Claw slapped the barrier hard. It made a tooth-piercing sound. Boom. Barrier was shattered, but Charizard was also bounced some distance away. Blue light flashed in Mewtwo's eyes, and thick purple confusion condensed out, covering Charizard's body. Then he bounced him away fiercely. Think of God. Shihong just stood up from the ground. When she looked up, she saw something like an orange meteor coming towards her. Boom. Red was hit hard again. Psychic knocked Charizard and Red away. It fell into the surrounding river. This blow is no less severe than the tackle just now. As one person and one dragon fell into the water, Cerulean Cave became quiet again. Yu Longdu. Send it. It must be over this time. Charizard fell into the water. Doesn't this directly lose the ability to fight? Close black lens bracket. Alchemy Emperor. The powerful Charizard is actually not that afraid of ordinary water, but the red Charizard will probably be in far worse danger after eating that mental attack. Close black lens bracket. Diantha. The point is red. Red. He is now being pressed by Charizard and fell into the water. He was hit hard before entering the water. He won't just faint in the water, right? Close black lens bracket. Advertisement. Catalya. Yes, even if you have a mega true rookie physique, such damage may not be a little bit. Wallace. Red will not end her life like this. I guess someone or a Pokemon will come to save Red later. Who will it be? Is it Deep Sea Totem Kyogre? 1. Steven. Teacher. Wake up. How could Kyogre appear in a place like this? Close black lens bracket. The champions and elites started making all kinds of outrageous speculations. Everyone was sure that Kai Hong would not die in this river just like that. After all, this image is about taking stock of Red's story. Moreover, Shihong was able to send out barges just now, which proves that he is not dead. In this case, who saved Kai Hong? Open black lens bracket Sabrina. At Hong Hong close black lens bracket. The cautious Sabrina started revenge. Wasn't the French ellipsis taunting you just now? Why are you so embarrassed now? Shihong, you can't do it. Shihong ignored Sabrina's taunt. It's not that he doesn't refute, it's that he has to wait until later. In fact, he is full of evil laughing. In the image, Red and Charizard slowly sank to the bottom of the river. I can't fight at close range. I can't fight at a distance. Is there really nothing I can do against that guy? Shihong closed her eyes tightly. Even though she was as determined as he was, she began to doubt herself. Suddenly, he seemed to feel something. In the deep water, he opened his eyes and looked below. I saw those clear black eyes looking at him firmly. Those are Charizard's eyes. Even in the water, the flames on Charizard's tail are burning fiercely. What an idiot I am. Charizard didn't give up. How could I give up here? Then, Kai Hong began to swim downstream quickly. He wants to take Charizard back to fight. Base. The moment he strengthened his belief, his pocket suddenly burst into light. Looking into his red palm, a small gem showed this gorgeous light in his hand. This is one of the stones Mr. Fuji gave him back then. Just why? At this moment, Charizard's body began to burst into brilliant luster. Under Crimson's shocked gaze, Charizard's body shape began to slowly change. Yu Longdu. No way. You don't want to perform that, do you? Cynthia. You can't be wrong. This is Mega Evolution. Diantha. Liar. How did they activate the Evolution Stone and Keystone when they had no knowledge of Mega Evolution? Close black lens bracket. Dante. The bond between Shihong and Charizard must have reached its peak. Mega Charizard. Now we can finally get a glimpse of his true face. Close black lens bracket. The image switched to the shore. Mewtwo's violent expression remained unabated at this time, and his superficial injuries had not healed. But his psychic seems to have recovered a lot. Now that there is no target for him to vent his anger on, he is afraid that he will destroy this hole in his rage. However, before he can take action, a cyanwood-colored water column rises from the river. A terrifying sense of oppression pervades the entire Cerulean Cave. The water pillars soaring into the sky turned into rain and poured down like crazy. It seemed like the appearance of King Celebrate. In the rain, two blue firelights rose freely. Scarlet eyes glowed horribly in the rain. The terrifying high temperature turned the rainwater into water vapor, and everyone could clearly see Charizard's evolved appearance. The skin is gray and black, and turns from the chin to the tip of the tail into soaring in the sky blue. There are 3.3 inches of blue claw-like protrusions on the front and back of each shoulder. The inner side of the wings turns dark blue, and the lower end is divided into several arc-shaped angular tips. The protrusions on the wings change into claw-like shapes. There is also an outrageous blue flame with high temperature coming out of its mouth. This is the new look of Charizard. Mega Charizard X. His handsomeness even makes Dandy and other Charizard fans unable to take their eyes away. So cool. Mega evolved Charizard. Red slowly stood up from behind Charizard. Peas. It's finally almost finished. Actually, I wanted to finish it in one chapter, but as I was writing, it became 3 or 4 chapters, which made me feel numb. For example, Red said that there are only 149 Pokedex in total. Really, I can't handle the Kai Spray combo, such as Slash, Swift, Megaton Punch, and Megaton Kick. Come on Mewtwo, round 2 begins. In short, the Crimson inventory is over. Next, it's the new inventory's turn, the hero of the rainbow. It doesn't look like much, but it feels awkward when written down. Charizard's combo is a fire skill plus a bunch of fighting skills. Except Seismic Toss is reasonable, everything else is messy. Give them a little parallel wisdom shock. That's why the red chapter is relatively long. If I had written it exactly according to the animation, I could have done it without using chapters. No need to use your brain, just present the battle to everyone. However, the integrity of the story must be greatly compromised. In fact, according to the plot of the animation, I am quite good at writing. Let me digress a bit. Those of you who have watched Origins should be able to tell that I have added a lot of self-created plots here. I really want to write faster, please believe me. JPG. So I added a little bit of my own understanding of Pokemon, and the same goes for the battle. Give the current Pokemon world a little Origins shock. But there are actually quite a lot of unreasonable things in the original animation. Chapter 110, the so-called legend, is the highest god of SmackDown. Advertisement. The handsome black dragon soars in the sky. The boy, who was only 10 years old, pressed the brim of his hat and looked at the high-ranking god below with a confident expression. Charizard's re-evolution really exceeded Chi-Hong's expectations. He also didn't expect that the beads given to him by Mr. Fuji could actually allow Charizard to achieve a higher level of evolution. Now Chi-Hong can clearly feel Charizard's mood. It's as if the two sides are connected by a strange force. Normal. Today's Charizard can definitely win. The second round begins. Mewtwo. Roar. Mewtwo roared, thinking of one man and one dragon. Instinct told him that the dark fire dragon seemed much more powerful than before. That oppressive feeling that was like a substance crazily oppressed his nerves. Let its instinctive madness sound a warning. Boom. Charizard suddenly landed, and Chi-Hong rolled back to the ground with a handsome move. The movements of one person and one dragon give people a feeling that they seem to be in sync. Just like Xiaozhi and Greninja back then. But Xiaozhi and Greninja's movements are undoubtedly more similar. First give him a greeting gift, Fire Blast. Charizard roared, and then extremely terrifying blue flames gathered in its mouth. The next moment, the rotating dark blue flames burst out. Its blazing temperature caused the water vapor still surrounding it to evaporate in an instant. Cyanwood's firelight reflected in Mewtwo's eyes. His eyes widened, his pupils tightened, and his hands quickly crossed in defense. Boom. A terrifying explosion sounded. Suddenly, the ground shook. Many loose rocks fell again. As the smoke slowly dissipated, a scarred Mewtwo appears in front of Red. The fire blast just now was almost equivalent to an instantaneous launch. And its speed far exceeded Mewtwo's expectations. If it weren't for the violent contest condition, where instinct took over all of him, he didn't even have a chance to cross his hands in defense. Despite this, Mewtwo didn't have time to activate Protect and just used Confusion Barrier to defend. The power of Fire Blast has exceeded the limit that Barrier can defend against. That's why Mewtwo was injured again. Oh 3. Yu Longdu. As this. Mega Evolution. What a terrifying improvement, what a terrifying power. Dandy. This power, I feel that my Charizard can only compete with it if it becomes Gigantamax. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Can Charizard after Mega Evolution be directly upgraded to the point where it can suppress high-level legends? I feel that Mega Evolution should not be that powerful. Cynthia thought about the evolution of Diantha and Xiaozhi in the previous review. Xiaozhi's Bond evolution is indeed improved quite exaggeratedly. But Diantha's Mega Evolution has not reached the point of reaching the sky in one step. There is an improvement in strength, but it is equivalent to turning 1 into 1.5 or 2. An improvement of 50% or double is already extremely terrifying. However, the red Charizard is estimated to be improved by more than 1.5 times. Why is that? Open black lens bracket Alder. It's a bond. A bond? Close black lens bracket. Steven. Bond. You mean the same bond evolution as Xiaozhi and Greninja. But Chi-Hong and the others clearly used Mega Evolution stones. Closing square bracket. Alder. What if I say, they are somewhere between the two? In addition to the improvement of Mega Evolution, there is also the interconnected bond power between the two parties. Or it is Chi-Hong's exclusive talent. The power of those who fight. Close black lens bracket. After Alder's explanation, everyone finally understood the reason why Kai Jet's combat power skyrocketed after evolving. Mega Evolution alone cannot reach this level. Also because of Kai Hong's power called the Fighting Man. Turn your bond with Pokemon into a substantial improvement. Therefore, Quality Spray can now be promoted to the point where it can suppress Mewtwo. Besides, Mewtwo had fought 5 spirits in succession before this. He even got hit by Pikachu's thunder. Therefore, Mewtwo's current contest condition is estimated to be less than half. It seems natural to be suppressed by the suddenly strengthened Kai Jet. Mount. Silver Peak. Shihong looked at the barrage list in front of her. Xiaozhi became more and more curious about his peers in this world. Judging from what the champion here said, he in this world. It seems that Mega Evolution can be achieved without Mega Evolution stones. This evolution is what they call bond evolution. What kind of bond is it that can achieve such an evolution? Neither he nor his Charizard can reach this level. Xiaozhi, let's go see him tomorrow. Speaking of which, how do you feel when you see your old self being beaten? Sitting next to Red, the Pokemon looks exactly like Mewtwo on the screen. After hearing Kai Hong's words, his already ugly face turned completely dark. It was just created not long ago, and it has not yet adapted to the power in the body. In addition, the violent power affected its sanity. The whole process was fought by the irrational contest condition. Encore, you really thought you could win. Besides, my strength at that time had not reached its peak. In the words of you humans, I had not yet reached the true first-level god. Listening to Mewtwo's arrogant words, Kai Hong shook her head in amusement. Then now I will fight you 6-on-1. Be a human being. Advertisement. What is your current strength? Don't you have a number between A and C? That Charizard Mega was only slightly weaker than him after evolving. Coupled with the terrifying speed of Pikachu. In a 2-on-1 situation, Mewtwo is not guaranteed to win. Not to mention 6 against 1. Most importantly, as a red Pokemon. Mewtwo clearly knows how powerful this guy's commanding ability is during battle. And what kind of fighting talents do battlers have? He had a brain convulsion before fighting Kai Hong again. Moreover, you didn't say a word about 1-on-1. Tsunere like Mewtwo was restrained to death by Crimson. If Mewtwo in this world saw it, he would probably be surprised. Image 1. After the attack was successful, Kai Hong used lightning speed too. In the shocked eyes of the audience, the ball was lost. This is too fast. Just hit a fire blast and then lost the ball. Can it be successful? The black and gold Ultra Ball hit Mewtwo directly and took it in. However, the Ultra Ball didn't even shake, it just exploded. Tisk, as expected it still doesn't work. After the words fell, Mewtwo roared, and the psychic on his body completely rioted. It seems, Mewtwo is now going to fight to the death. The psychic that turned into substance condensed into sharp blades one after another. Then it shot out like a rain of swords. Psycho Cut. This move hit Charizard hard before. But now, times have changed. Charizard, Flamethrower counteract it. Roar. Blue flames streak across the void. All the sword rain was burned away by this blazing flame. Charizard's power increased, Mewtwo's power weakened. Mewtwo is no longer Charizard's rival. Roar. After the attack failed, Mewtwo roared again. The dark purple power turned into substance, and finally condensed into a constantly rotating wave ball. This is the move that killed Pikachu in one move just now, and even nearly collapsed the Cerulean Cave. Kai Hong couldn't recognize what this move was. But, this should be the most powerful power in Mewtwo's hands. Charizard, block it. Full fire blast. Charizard looked up to the sky and condensed a blazing fire power. Its scorching heat begins to raise the temperature of the entire space. The moves of both sides exploded together. The extremely hot fire blast. The unknown moves that shook the earth. They collided almost at the same time and exploded. The horrific aftermath exploded. A powerful hurricane swept through the Cerulean Cave. The earth shook and the mountains shook. Landslides and tsunamis. The current in the river has also become choppy. Cerulean Cave. No, the whole Cerulean City seems to have earthquake coming normal. The people in Cerulean City can feel a powerful vibration. In the Cerulean Cave, countless rebels fell crazily. Charizard has already firmly protected his trainer. He will not be harmed by those rebels. Before this situation, it was like the end of the world. Normal. Wait until the collision weakens and the smoke dissipates. Cerulean Cave is still barely holding on and not collapsing. Mewtwo, on the other hand, was standing in the distance panting, his eyes clear again. There is still confusion and color in his clear eyes. What's going on? The human being who was suppressed and beaten by him just now and basically had no power to fight back. Why did he suddenly hit him like this? This generation is too good at fighting, isn't it? Do you know how to play? If you don't know how to play, just let him do it himself. Good opportunity. Charizard, Dragon Claw, roar. Dark green sharp claws extend out. Charizard was ejected like a cannonball. He was in front of Mewtwo in an instant. Before Mewtwo could react, Dragon Claw had already slapped him hard. Tisk. A heart-wrenching sound of splitting flesh and blood came out. 3 shocking blood marks appeared on Mewtwo's body. The painful feeling made Mewtwo come out of shock and quickly opened a green shield. Protect. Advertisement. Charizard ignored Protect and started cutting like crazy. The Dragon Claw in his hand kept tapping on Protect. With each hit, Protect's luster will dim. Shihong looked at Charizard's back. It seems like I saw Charmander using Grab again. The original Charmander has become the Dark Charizard today. The weak claw in the beginning has become the Dragon Claw that can cut iron as fast as clay. You've really become stronger, Charmander. Boom. With Crimson's murmur, the protective barrier in front of Mewtwo finally couldn't bear it anymore and completely shattered. It's been a long battle, and now it's time to end it. Let's end with this. Seismic toss. World audience. No, sir. Seismic toss comes again. Fighting is a weak superpower. Your distance. Wouldn't it be nice to give me a shot of Fire Blast? Only Xiaozhi understands the charm of seismic toss used by Charizard. Because, it seems that except for him and the red Charizard, no other Charizard can do seismic toss. Roar. Charizard roared and grabbed Mewtwo's tiny arm with his sharp claws. Then spread your wings and fly high. After spinning twice in soaring in the sky, Mewtwo was thrown to the ground. Boom. A huge sound rang out. The ground is already covered with cracks as dense as spider web normal. The smoke slowly dissipated. Mewtwo was already lying on the ground limply. Xihong took the opportunity to take out the Ultra Ball and threw it hard. Boom. The Ultra Ball hit Mewtwo and trapped it inside. After 3 shakes, a crisp sound came out. Mewtwo was conquered by red. Ha ha ha, I conquered Mewtwo. At the end of the picture, there is a picture of Xihong embracing Charizard who has returned to his original state. The final journey of the legend is over. Everyone finally knows why the road Kai Hong took is called the Legendary Road. The so-called legend is the highest god in SmackDown. In more than half a year, Xihong has grown rapidly from an ignorant novice trainer to today's Alliance champion. He even defeated a superior first-level god. You know, this is an advanced legend equivalent to Ho-Oh, Reshiram, Rayquaza, etc. Xihong actually really conquered it. Even behind the video, after Charizard Mega evolved, the audience already had vague guesses. But they still couldn't believe it. That aloof god can really be subdued by humans. 437. In half a year, Alliance champion conquered the 3 divine birds and the high legend Mewtwo. This kind of journey is qualified to be called a legendary road. It's too fierce, Brother Xihong. Where is the person who just said that Brother Xihong can't win? Come out quickly and get slapped in the face. Brother Xihong is even more powerful than Brother Xiaozhi. He became the world's mightiest in more than half a year. Who can withstand this? Brother Xiaozhi's upper limit should be similar to that of Brother Xihong, but his growth rate is not that interesting. By the way, didn't Brother Xihong say he wanted to meet Brother Xiaozhi? If Brother Xiaozhi had been taught by Brother Xihong, would he have become so scary in advance? Blind monk, you discovered Hua Dian. The super large inventory is over, and audiences around the world are talking about Xihong's terrifying growth rate. And the strength that no one can match. I'm afraid that in Red's world, no one except Green can compete with Red. Yulongdu. He actually conquered the first-level mythical beast. Alchemy Emperor. The power that Kai Hong showed in the end was really terrifying. I'm afraid my Charizard will have to go to Gigantamax to compete with it. Steven. Sorry, I feel a little ashamed of myself. If I really confront Kai Hong, I'm afraid I'm not his rival at all. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. Speaking of which, I didn't find any information about Mewtwo. Close black lens bracket. Alder. Didn't Red mention it when discussing with Professor Oak that this is an artificial Pokemon created based on Mew? Close black lens bracket. Forget about this. Day. The most important thing is, it only took Xihong more than half a year to grow to this point. Half a year, half a year. In other words, he is only 10 years old now. Then, a warm current passed through their hearts. Cynthia. No, that's not the case. If Mewtwo has the power of high legends, then it means that he is an existence recognized by the laws of this world. It is not just a simple copy. Close black lens bracket. Cynthia. I haven't seen the power of my Garchomp Mega after evolution. Just speaking of my current power, I can't compare with Crimson. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Cynthia. That's right, close black lens bracket. Yulongdu. Clear Cliff and MT. Silver's Mewtwo were stunned when they saw what Cynthia said at the same time. And he was just a prophecy, a prophecy. Diantha. Xihong is truly worthy of the name of legend. But, Lance, you are also worthy of the name of the god of poisonous milk. Could it be that even a first-level god can't resist his terrifying power? He really killed the first-level divine milk. No, this is definitely not the case. The things in this inventory have already been determined. Cynthia. I feel, our world should also have Mewtwo. Close black lens bracket. In other words, Hero should have existed. It's just that God's hand to assist mankind will be created. He is not a copy. Dandy. Got it, that's why Cynthia, you want to see if there are any records about Mewtwo in the super ancient times, right? You suspect that Mewtwo appeared before, but died for unknown reasons, and was finally resurrected by the human hand of assist. Come over here.